fine sponsors for today's broadcast. Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Delrange across from Powers Field. Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union, Page Lane at Number One Properties. Shine Auto Repair and Service, 2 doors down, Platte Valley Bank. Shine Regional Medical Center, Lennox Auto Body in the Auto Glass and Detail Center. MHP, LLP, Halliday Motors, the Gill Window Company, Fat Boys Tire and Auto, Burns Insurance Company, First Tier Bank, Wyoming Department of Transportation, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Key of Cheyenne, FMBO, First National Bank Omaha, and Taco John's, our scoreboard sponsor. And I get to bring on Caleb Burgraff, who, and most importantly, a big thank you going out to Caleb, who snuck away from Laramie County Community College. Again, they don't know that yet. Now let's talk about this, though. It is the summer fall sports programs that go on there. So, again, I know we have volleyball. We've got soccer times 2. We got esports. And we also got rodeo going on as well, don't we?
Absolutely.
So
it's a busy time.
It's your busy time of the year, and I'm glad that you can sneak away on a Thursday afternoon and bring us high school football as well. And, again, work the video stream. Caleb knows how to do that from his own vantage point over at LCCC. But, I don't know, a little more complex the way Nick had it set up?
It's a little bit more. It's kind of working your way through. He's got a few more scenes set up that I got to work my way through. But figuring it out, and hopefully, if any complaints, direct them to Caleb, not to Larry for this one.
No, I'm so appreciative that Caleb came out here and volunteered his services. Of course, it's going to cost me a pile of cash, but that's the way life goes. It's an absolutely gorgeous day here in Pine Bluffs. Matter of fact, as we rolled in, it was 92 degrees. There is a little breeze that is blowing in right now. It looks like it is blowing in from the west, so we can see the markers on top of the goalpost. But, I mean, nothing really that is going to be effective here in the ball game. I think the only thing that's going to come into play will be more of cramping and just wearing out, because, again, this is one of the hotter days that we've had. Even when they had summer camps, really you had more of the rainfall coming in during the afternoon, cooling things off. So this is going to be a good old-fashioned summertime football contest here in week 1.
I think absolutely you're right. And the other thing is, it's interesting to see how the players, when the intensity ramps up in this too, because practice, you can simulate all you want, but you're still not necessarily going through the fast twitches like you would in an actual game when you're lined up against somebody wearing the same uniform. So sometimes that can always be a factor. And as you mentioned, the cramping, that all kind of pairs together that, well, we got young teams here too. Maybe they don't know how to stretch. Maybe they don't necessarily have all that. But these two programs know what they're doing. That is the one other thing about this. These are young teams, but these coaches have these athletes prepared.
And one of the nice things here today, we should finish in daylight, so lights are not going to come into play. It's interesting, too, and again, this is typical first week of football. Last week we had the Camels of Campbell County and Cheyenne East, and everything was all prepared. Here it is at the lower ranks, 189, man. I finally got a hold of Coach Trumpler today, early this morning, as we did our pregame show. And, again, we didn't get the rosters that came down, so we got them handed here to us just as we arrived this afternoon. So it's a different look for both teams. Stu Lorwick is not quarterbacking, but coming off the family tree, and there's a lot of blossoms on that family tree, will be Justin Lorwick, as he'll be at the quarterback positions. Coach Trumpler does not have his son in the backfield anymore. He graduated. And that's what you really feel it in the smaller schools. Yeah, graduation in the Class 4A, maybe 3As. You've got very solid sophomore, junior varsity programs. But here, it's like next man up. And if you're a freshman, be ready to strap it on and play some football.
Absolutely. And not only that, you got two programs that to make it to a state title game at any level, you have to have a pretty solid senior class, or at least a pretty solid class of upperclassmen. And both of these teams were in that state title game last year. So both of these teams were kind of riding that high. And you mentioned it, the cupboard's kind of bare as far as returners that got playing time, but I think that makes it exciting for a fan of these teams coming out here, because now you get to say, okay, I remember this kid's brother. What's this kid going to do now when he gets here? Or I've never seen this kid's name before. It's a brand new family that moved in. Let's see the talent that he brings to this team. And it kind of adds that anybody can win it type of mentality, which you mentioned it. At the bigger level, you don't have that necessarily all the time, because you can see exactly what team's coming up. You see the JV against the JV, and you know that those two teams are going to be similar when they move to the varsity next year. At the 1A level, at the smaller school levels, you don't get that. You really, you may or may not get to see some of these players during a season. All of a sudden, they show up and they haven't played until their senior year. Well, guess what? They're strapping on the pads.
The Wranglers looking for the trifecta of going back to Laramie. 2021 champs, again falling to the 2022 champs, Pine Bluffs Hornets. They're looking to get back. We should have a good opening contest here for high school football in Class 1A 9-man. And we're on a Thursday afternoon. That means we can watch Friday night football coming up tomorrow. All right, we're going to take a timeout. We come back. We are going to run through our pregame show, Athletic Director's Report. Tony Trumpeter will join us as our opposing coach. Of course, we'll talk with Will Gray first on the athletic director side. Then he'll come back and join us as the local coach. We also will have for you the Mountain West Conference schedule. Again, it's all preseason. That's preseason in the Mountain West Conference. We'll have the weekly schedule coming up for high school football, starting lineups, and then we're going to play some ball here under a very warm Thursday afternoon here in Pine Bluffs. We're back after the 60-second timeout with the Athletic Director Sport. You are listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Kill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, what we give to you when it comes to vinyl windows. No need to be confused, we manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here, 'cause we know the climate. Suddenly it's all so clear, Kill Windows. We're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm A.J. Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Larry Proati with Will Gray, and we'll get a chance to chat with Will times two on our pregame show. Will doubles as the athletic director as well as football coach. This time on our athletic director's report, we get a chance to chat with Will. Will, you know, one of the nice things as we look back on the 2022-2023 sports season for Pine Bluffs, and too bad we haven't changed that name from Pine Bluffs to Titletown, USA. Congratulations on all the success that your sports programs had last season.
Thanks, man. Like, we don't need to change our name. Who knows what'll happen. But we were proud of our kids last year and looking forward to this year.
You know, one of the nice things, too, looking back on last season, especially the accolades that were bestowed upon some of your kids, especially during the summer, I think of Stu Lorwick, Ryan Fornstrom, guys that got a chance to participate in extra activities after the season were over, especially on the basketball side.
Right.
Yeah, they did. You know, both had an opportunity to play in the Shrine Bowl, but they had some other things come up. And, they were excited, and then we also had Colin Jeffens play in the Panhandle All-Star game with those guys. I might have been the first week of June into May. So that was really exciting.
Well,
But either way, I'm
moving kids
Dick's
on
got
to
it.
the next
He had
level.
it
Obviously,
figured out.
Yeah, he
in
had
a
a way of
small
doing it.
town,
And
Class 1A, as
I'm not
opposed
sitting here
to the
saying it's a
4A
bad
kids.
way of doing it.
Talk about
Just not what I'm used to,
where some of our kids get
Kinda
that
interesting
opportunity to go. Because
figured out
obviously,
with
you know,
points,
college is
the way
very
he did
important
do
to them as well. But do they get that
I might not have been
opportunity to
using the
move
right-
on to those next levels?
Oh, yeah, they do. You know, a lot of our kids have gotten looks from various places. It's just a matter of whether the kid wants to put in that time, you know, for 4 more years. And right now we have a lot of kids that are giving us everything they have at our level. So they're not quite sure if they want to do another 4 years of it or just go be a student somewhere or join the workforce. And, you know, I can think of, you know, Brian Stager. He's at Dickinson State throwing the hammer and the discus and doing really well. He almost qualified for nationals last year. I think he told me he was like a centimeter off from qualifying for nationals in the disc. So you know, we do have kids that get looks all the time, but it's just a matter of them choosing to take that or go a different route.
Let's talk about here we are into the summer and fall sports season again. You know, with the population size as opposed to the Class 4As. Tell us a little bit about the sports that you have going on presently.
So volleyball, I think we have 27 girls out at the high school level, which is a good number for us. So we can play 3 levels each week. Football-wise, we have 38 out, which is a good number. Junior high football, I think we're around 20 for 3 grades. It's kind of a little low. We'd like 8 or 9 kids per grade, just as an average. Junior high volleyball is a little, they're at 22, 23, somewhere in there.
I'm just making
And
sure
then
it keeps
cross-country
playing.
just keeps
That's the biggest thing
loaded.
for me is that we
You know, we combine
actually
with
have
Burns,
it playing,
and they're
so
close to
we're
50
not
kids
on the air.
in cross-country, which is a really good number.
Talk about
Not you,
the past success that Pine Bluff has had. Does that breed more kids coming out? Again, I know you're limited with population in your part of the world, but just knowing that, again, you know, going back to basketball and football, does that, you know, pump more excitement into the students to come out and just be a student athlete?
I think it does a little bit if you're doing it right. You're, you know, at our level in 9-man, you know, if we continue to win, but we're only playing 9 kids, then kids aren't going to come out. Because whether you're winning or losing, kids want to be on the field. So if you can structure it and have some different personnel packages and get, you know, some younger kids in when you can, then that breeds them to want to come back. They don't want to come back and just stand next to me on the sideline. You got to keep kids active and engaged and into the sport that, you know, whatever it is. But I think winning helps, but you got to keep them engaged too.
Well, final thought. Thank you again for joining us here on our athletic report. I was thinking, and again, just because of population size, that you're limited in the amount of sports. But is there a way, if there was an explosion of kids, for example, would there be a way that you could petition the Wyoming High School Activities Association to add another sport similar to the 4A, 3A schools, or basically is the law in place that you have to run just these sports because of population size?
Oh no, if we had an interest in a certain sport that looks like it's going to go, you know, down the road, it's not just a 1 or 2 year thing of interest, then yeah, we could add anything we pretty much wanted. We would have to play in a higher class because there isn't necessarily a 1 or 2A class in softball or soccer or things like that. But if we had interest that, you know, with 8-10 years down the road of kids wanting to do it and we can field teams, then we certainly could.
And part 2 of my questions, we wrap things up. I had this conversation with Jerry Schlabb and Chinese prior to their game last week with Gillette Campbell budgets. Again, post-pandemic, are we getting back to normal, or are you being asked to tighten the belt a little bit?
It just depends on your yearly enrollment for us. You know, as a small school, you know, we're locked into the number of kids we have and the amount, you know, that they give us. So if we have, you know, a year or 2 where our enrollment, you know, is declining, then yeah, budgets get a little tighter. But if we're growing, then, you know, you have a little extra money to spend on things. But our principal does a really good job of keeping things balanced between sports and telling me as an AD, because I want to spend money all the time, but he's pretty good at telling me no.
And those are the comments of Athletic Director Will Gray. Like I mentioned before, we get a chance to talk with Will time 2 as he will come back and join us on our local coach report in just a little bit. You're listening to the pregame show right here on 1480 K-Ray. In the 1960s, Bruce Lee said, "Be water, my friend."
Each of us comes with a different story, a different way of looking at the world. So whatever it is that makes you different will make all the difference. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
At Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires and fixing cars. We believe in faith, family, and community. The Fat Boys family has been serving Wyoming and Nebraska for over 50 years, and 3 generations later, our values have never.
Larry Perlini with head coach Tony Trumpler of the Shoshoni Wranglers as the Wranglers get ready to take on the Pine Bluffs Hornets, which is becoming a nice little rivalry between the two schools. You opened up last year. You had a chance to meet in Laramie for the State 1A 9-man championship. And again, you open up the season with the Hornets, this time in Pine Bluffs. Tell us a little bit, Coach, how summer camp went. And again, with the week 0 off, did you get any scrimmaging in during the time before today's game?
You know, summer went real well. We have 33 kids out. They spent a lot of time here this summer. Probably our biggest turnout we've had in the summer workout program in the 9 years that I've been the head coach. It was a good summer. We a lot of young kids. We're very young. When it's kind of cool when they get that buy-in, and I think playing in Laramie last year in the last 2 years has really kind of helped them, you know, buy into the program and know that they have to put the work in if they want to, you know, play deep into the playoffs, really. And as far as 0 week goes, we played Wright and Lusk last week in a controlled scrimmage. It was just a number of plays, and then we just no refs, quick whistles type stuff. So we did get some football last week, but not like a real game type atmosphere. So this is really going to be our first test this week.
Coach, let's talk about what happened last weekend here in just a little bit, but also too, and I had this conversation with Coach Gray as well. You know, being a broadcaster for the Class 4A ranks, graduation usually hits in certain key positions, but it's next man up, especially from the junior varsity and the sophomore programs. You really don't have that luxury in the Class 1A. It's basically your senior class graduates, and you may be throwing in a sophomore or in some cases even a freshman. But bottom line is graduation really hit both Pine Bluffs and you guys pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm bringing back one starter to the team this year, and he only started on defense for us. So huge change. New faces all over. Definitely the biggest hit I've ever taken as a head coach as far as personnel change. So yeah, it is a huge change, and like I said again, it goes back to those kids, you know, having to grow up fast. The kind of the good thing about it is they do get to play a lot of you know, JV type squad against our varsity. So they do grow up a little bit in practice, but it's still not the same thing as getting actual game time experience.
When you had the controlled scrimmage last weekend, did you get to implement pretty much most of the playbook? Did you get to see a lot of what you'll be able to control throughout the course of the season?
You know, it was pretty limited. We were still trying to figure out stuff at quarterback. So
they can hurt you in a couple of different ways offensively. They like to put the ball in the air. They also can control the ground game. But tell us a little bit what you're looking for in the Hornets this afternoon.
Well, you know, like you said earlier, it's becoming quite a rivalry, and it's a good rivalry. It's not a spiteful rivalry by any means. This is one of my favorite teams to play. The kids it's fun to play. Yeah, we're expecting, you know, a little bit of everything. We know they like to throw the ball. We play them enough now. Seems like every year we're starting to meet twice a year, and I'm okay with that because it's usually pretty either deep in the playoffs or in the state championship. So that doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But yeah, they can air out the ball, and they do have I know the Langois kid is probably going to run the ball for them, and he's shifty, so we have to pay attention to that for sure. But our main concern is shutting down their pass, because that's what they're kind of known for.
Final thought, Coach, and again, this is a long travel day for you today, and you know, especially in our part of the world, just about every time you get on the bus, it's a long travel. But how do you keep the kids focused, knowing that the job is going to be happening here in just a few hours, but again, it is a long bus ride. How do you keep those kids focused once they get off the bus?
You know, getting them on the bus and having lots of stops, that's kind of our big thing, is getting them out moving as much as we can. That's why we're leaving. Like, as soon as I get off the phone with you, we're actually leaving. So we have time to stop, let them stretch their legs out and stuff, and just kind of keep that bus lag, I guess you could call it, out of their systems.
And those are the comments of Tony Trumpler, head coach of the Shoshoni Wranglers. Wranglers and the Hornets getting ready to kick off the season here in Pine Bluffs. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll check in with Will Gray, head coach of the defending 1A 9-man champion Pine Bluffs Hornets. After this timeout, you are listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
At Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires.
In Casper and Cheyenne is your locally owned brake specialist for over 20 years. ASE certified. We always offer 100% free brake inspection, free tire rotations. And now
we're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm AJ Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Larry Perlin again on our pregame show, and we get a chance once again to talk with Will Gray as he turns his hat around now as the head coach of the Pine Bluffs Hornets. Real quick, Coach, again, this is your first action that will be slated for Thursday against the Shoshoni Wranglers, but during the week 0 where we had 4A, 3A, 2A getting underway, you had I guess we call it the bye weekend, but you had a scrimmage that took place against the Southeast Goshen Cyclones. Tell us a little bit what you were looking for in that particular scrimmage against Southeast.
Well, we got a lot of new guys on the field, so it was good to get them out against somebody else. You know, we didn't run the ball as well as we wanted to, so that's corrections and things for this week. But Southeast is going to be good. They got 2 DNs that are huge. You know, and they play hard, and they find the ball, and they're going to be a problem when we play them in week 8.
You know, you had a very senior-laden team last year. You do have some of the underclassmen coming back. But one of the good things that happened last season, those underclassmen got a lot of playing time due to the fact of the success of the Pine Bluffs Hornets. So, again, are you seeing that carry over where the playbook is not that foreign to them now as their starters?
Yeah, you know, and doing some practices, you know, in the summer before we went to camp at Black Hills and just kind of rolling into the season with that type of stuff. You know, we've got a lot of stuff installed. You know, I don't know exactly what we're going to run on Thursday. That's what today and tomorrow are for, to narrow that down a little bit. But these guys haven't been shy about asking questions or just asking, hey, can we rerun that so we get it right? And that's, I think, going to be the good thing about this group is they're not going to be shy to ask questions.
You know, you had Stu Lorwick running the program for the last few seasons for you, and again, ends up in success with the state championship last year in Laramie. Justin, his brother, had some opportunities to take over the controls. If he is installed as the starting quarterback for you, do you have to make some adjustments, so to speak? Because, again, you look at Stu, he was just a natural passer. And, again, Schaefer was the guy to go to hand it off to. Is Justin one of those where he may not have the tools, so to speak, as Stu, but you might be able to throw in a scrambling routine, or he's one that can take the ball and run with it?
I think it's a little bit, and we're not asking Justin to be Stu. We want Justin to be Justin and to be the best version of himself. And he's come to practice every day willing to do that. They're not the same player, so we're doing a few different things here and there. But again, we're not asking him to be his brother, so we just want to run what Justin's good at, or if Karsten's the guy, what Karsten's good at. So we're finding that balance of what are they good at, what do they struggle at, and where do we need to go from here.
Looking back on last year's team, a lot of great student athletes that you had on that ball club. But you also saw some of the future as well. Tell us a little bit about some of the kids that we should be keeping our eye on this season.
Well, one of our receivers and linebacker, Sean Schmidl. He's probably the most athletic kid we have on the roster. He catches the ball really good, runs good routes. Travis Lerwick, in the past we've had him play some tight end and DN stuff, and we moved him to receiver. He's tall and he can run. He catches well. Abe Serrano got a lot of carries last year when Dalton was out with an injury. He's going to be a little combo for us of some tailback and inside receiver. Jesus Solis is a quick little kid that when he catches the ball in space, he's dangerous. Colton Beimer, he's always played guard, but we moved him to tight end this year, and he's going to have a big role for us at tight end.
Let's talk about the Shoshoni Wranglers again, and I don't want to use the word, hey, it's a rematch of last year's state championship, because it's not, because, again, the characters are different. But, one of the things that we saw last year, they were bigger, they were physical from what I've seen from their roster. Obviously, graduation hit them just as hard as it did the Hornets.
Yep. We're prepping for their downhill run game, because that's something that, when you're not very big, they try and run it at us, and they're going to force us to stop it. So that's kind of what we're focused on. And that's traditionally been what they've done. But, a year ago they had a really good quarterback that could throw it too, and I think his younger brother's stepping into that role, and looking at their scrimmage film, he throws it pretty well. So we're planning on some play action and just running it right at us till we can stop it.
Final thought, and thanks again for joining us on our pregame show. Let's talk about the Hornets themselves. Again, big shoes to fill. Again, you're looking at a team that was a near miss 2 years ago, champions last year. Does this group of young men taking the field Thursday against the Wranglers, do they feel the pressure? Do they feel that bullseye on their chest?
I don't know if they feel it from that, but I think they feel pressure of what is their identity going to be and what is their legacy going to be here. We don't talk about, filling other guys' shoes from last year. We want their shoes out on the ground and what's their legacy going to be. So I think they're feeling a little bit of that pressure because they just don't know. So getting to games is really going to help with that, because then they can start to form that identity of who they are as a team.
And those are the comments of Will Gray, who are the defending state 1A 9-man champions, as they get ready to do battle with the Shoshoni Wranglers, the team they faced last year in the state championship contest in Laramie. But again, it's a different year. It's a different band of brothers, so to speak, on the field. We will take a timeout. We come back. We got the Mountain West Conference schedule. We also have the weekly schedule and the starting lineups. You are listening to the pregame show right here on 1480.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best. That's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate. Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
18. He swings. Line drive to center field. 15 steps up. Another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam. The Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up. Every passenger, every trip, every time.
This weekend in the Mountain West Conference, it gets underway beginning tomorrow night with the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors at home on the island of Oahu. They'll play host to the Stanford Cardinal. On tap on Saturday, Utah State will visit number 25 Iowa. Purdue University in West Lafayette, Indiana will entertain Fresno State. Robert Morris will pay a visit to Falcon Stadium to take on the U.S. Air Force Falcons. Number 10, Washington at home at Husky Stadium in Seattle to entertain the Boise State Broncos. Bryant University will take on the UNLV Running Rebels at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Number 6, USC at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in SoCal. They will host the Nevada Wolfpack. The New Mexico Lobos on the road to take on number 23, Texas A&M. At Canvas Stadium in Fort Collins, the Colorado State Rams will host Washington State. Texas Tech will take on the Cowboys at Jonah Field at War Memorial Stadium. Kickoff for that contest will be at 5:30. The late night action, San Diego State Aztecs will host Idaho State. On tap Sunday, it will be number 18 Oregon State. They'll pay a visit to San Jose, California to take on the San Jose State Spartans. That's a check on the Mountain West Conference schedule for this weekend. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We've got the high school schedule for this weekend on the way right here on 1480 K-Ray.
34-yard line is the start for the Shoshoni Wranglers as they'll be going left to right across your radio dial as along with your video stream. It will be Braxton Mills, the quarterback. He's 6 foot. They'll run that offset eye outside of the gun as Mills will take the snap. We'll get you introduced second back through. Looks like that was Kissling. Kissling, a short gainer from the 34 up to the 37-yard line. Will give him 3 yards on that run. Real quick, it's Caden Kissling in the backfield. He's 5'9", 160, a freshman. He's joined by the halfback, which is Landon Casper. He is a 5'8", 140 junior. This time it'll be the first back through that, and I think we may have it on the turf. And it is going to be recovered by the Hornets. So the Hornets right away get the football, and we didn't even get a chance to introduce the offensive starters, but we do have the Pine Bluff starters. Let's go with that. Justin Lorick will be at the quarterback spot. He's 5'9", 150-pound junior, joined by Mitchell Burkhofer, who's a 5'10", 225-pound senior. Ryan Morin is a 5'7", 160-pound junior. On the wing will be Sean Schmidl, 6 foot, 160-pound junior, along with Travis Lorick, who's 6'2", 165-pound junior, and Abe Serrano, 5'7", a senior, as he checks in at 150 pounds. On the line, Ethan Baumberger, 5'8", 170 junior. Jason Perantoni, 5'10", 200-pound senior. Back to pass goes Lorick out of the gun. Steps up, he wants it all, going down long and incomplete. Nice job on the breakup by Quentin Clark as they were trying to hook up with Schmidl down the sidelines. Also David Merrifield on the offensive line, 5'8", 265. Substitutions coming in for the Hornets right now as we'll see Nathan Pace come in. Pace is a 5'9", 150-pound senior. Also joining him is Travis Lorick, as they'll be shuffling the plays in from head coach Will Gray. Ball right now resting on the 35-yard line of the Wranglers. Lorick will operate out of the gun on a second down call. He'll hand it off to his lone back in the backfield. Straight ahead, near first down yardage, a pickup of about 9 on the play. And it looked like that was Ty Scarborough on the carry, the sophomore. So it will be third down and short for the Hornets. About 3rd and 2 as the ball now rests on the 27-yard line. Back to pass. goes Lorick, steps up, got a man, and it's caught, first down yardage, and it's complete to Wyatt Carter. So Carter making the grab, and a first down. Again, very short out pattern, picks up 4, as Lorick now 1 for 2. Want to mention, too, on the run before that was Ryan Morin, who picked up the 8 yards. First down and 10, hash mark to the near side. Back to pass goes Lorick. He's got Serrano. Serrano down the sidelines and is driven out inside the 10 down to the 9. That would be, or they're going to actually mark him at the 8, so 12 yards on that pass play. A little catch and run there by Serrano, and it is first down and goal. Split to the outside will be Carter. To the near side comes Schmidl. Hash mark to the near side. Fakes the handoff, rolls to his right. Lorick steps up, throws, and matter of fact, threw behind his receiver as he was trying to hook up with Carter, incomplete, so it'll be second down. Jesus Solis, who was in the backfield, faked the handoff, or faked the give. He will remain in the backfield. Split out on top is Pace. And to the near side comes Travis Lorick. Second down call. Movement in the backfield. I think that might have been on Solis. I checked that. Yeah, it was Solis. And that will be the first penalty of the year 2023 for Pine. So they're marched back to the 13-yard line. Second down, but not a bad thing sometimes when you get like a 5-yard penalty because it, gives you a little more real estate to work with. Morin out back in the backfield. He will line up to the right of Lorick. Justin Lorick out of the gun. Fake the handoff. Flip it out and over the outstretched hands of Schmidl and incomplete. Lorick 2 for 5 on this drive for 16 yards. Third down. We all good to go? Are you having some fun? Not really. Ed, you chime in anytime you want.
I can't. I'm too busy worrying on this.
Don't worry.
I'm not even watching the game.
Don't even worry. Beautiful afternoon. About 91 degrees at kickoff. Trips out on top. On a third down call, Morin in the backfield, off to the right of Lorick. Lorick will come back on the counter to Morin to the 5, and he's in. Touchdown! There's the signal. No, they're going to say at the half-yard line, come on. So it'll be fourth down and goal. He looked like he stumbled in, but they're going to say the knees touched at the half-yard line for Morin. So it'll be a fourth down call for Will Gray. Obviously, you're not going to kick a field goal, especially here. But we'll do it again. That looked pretty close for the score. Fourth down. And Lorick will go to Morin again. He cuts it back against the grain, and he will be in. Touchdown. This time it is a score for Ryan Morin, the first score for the Hornets this year. Nice drive by Pine after recovering the fumble. And on to attempt the PAT will be Abe Serrano. Justin Lorick will be your holder as they will set it down. They bring the tee out. High snap. Lorick puts it down. Serrano puts a foot into it, and it's good. 7-0 our score. Pine Bluffs on top of the Wranglers of Shoshoni. We're back after a 60-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit. Good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings. Line drive to center field. 15 steps up. Another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam. The Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up. Every passenger, every trip, every time.
Meet Barry. After a long cold winter and a couple of hard stops, He was on a drive, and then he started to notice this. It is recommended to have your brakes checked every 5 to 10,000 miles or once a year. At the Brake Stop, we always offer 100% free brake inspections. Let our ESC certified technicians see if your brake pads and rotors are getting along. So for the best brakes, best service, best price, stop at the Brake Stop. Our Casper location, 2849 East 2nd Street.
Move it quick around here as it was bobbled and picked up by Wiley Filio around the 2-yard line. He'll stumble forward to around. It looks like they're going to give him the 13. So it'll be first down and 10 for Shoshoni. Again, Braxton Mills is your quarterback. Caden Kiesling in the backfield along with Landon Casper. Split out on top will be Quentin Clark. He's a 6', 160-pound junior. Handoff to the first back through, still on his feet. And that is Wiley Filio. Again, they run that offset I out of the gun. So Filio with good yardage on the run. That's about 8 yards. So 8 yards for Filio. And again, as we saw last year in Laramie, a powerful running game that they have for head coach Tony Trumpler. Again, now they'll run like a inverted bone. They'll go to the halfback. He'll have the first down as he will pick up more than enough yardage, 4 yards for Caden Kiesling. And it is first down at 10, and they'll move the sticks across the way. Ball resting on the 25-yard line. One of the nice things about having Caleb out here, again, he and Nick did a lot of talking before, and now Caleb has his own ideas of what he wants to do. Caught back in the backfield, but stumbling back to the line of scrimmage is Filio. Maybe they'll give him a yard, we'll see, to the 26, and that's exactly what they're going to give him. A lot of congestion up front. There is our first injury, and it looks like that is going to be Landon Casper, who's laying on the turf right now. It's interesting, too. And you can pop in on during this injury timeout. We'll keep it here for now. You know, Larry Proetti, my first eye silent when it came across the boat. You know, we came across from Italy, it used to be Proietti. You're Caleb Burgraff, where you have 2 G's and 2 A's in your name. Tony Trumpler, it looks like Truempler. So
always fun with the names.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorite parts about high school athletics. I'm not going to lie, is you get to see so many different names that always have a backstory to them.
All right. Well, the good news is they helped Casper up. He got dinged up a little bit, and he will come off the field. He will be replaced by Carson Kiesling. So Carson Kiesling comes in and will join. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say his brother in the backfield. It's, you know, it's one of those things I'm going to take a chance on. 5'9", 150-pound sophomore. Again, they're slowly walking him off. I don't know, is that one where he had the wind knocked out of him, or is it something a little worse? And I hope not. Not this early in the season and early in the game. Split to the near side are both Clark and Wiley Filio. Mills on the option, pitches it back to Kiesling. Caden Kiesling gets a nice little run around the corner, and he'll be shy of the first down. Picks up about 7 yards on that run. And it'll be third down and 2. One of the things, too, that Coach Trumpet likes to do, keep it on the ground, wear your opponent out. You know, the old 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Clock is moving right now, about 7:34 on the Taco John scoreboard. Pine leads 7-0 over Shoshoni. Now in the backfield, Morgan Neal. He's a 5'10" junior. They tried to block, but a great surge inside by Burkhofer, and will drop for a loss that would be Wiley Filio. So Filio loses a yard. It will be 4th down. We'll call it 4th and a short 3. They need to make the 35 right now at about right at the nose of the football at the 33. Again, they're going to run out of the bone, and it'll be Mills calling his own number, pushes the pile straight ahead. That was a nice job by Braxton Mills, as Mills will get the 2.5 plus 5 more, so we'll give him 8 yards on that run. And a good surge up front by the offensive line, which is anchored by Michael Wilczewski. He's a 5'9", 180-pound sophomore. Bo Fowler, 6 foot, 200-pound junior, and Wyatt Edis, he's 5'10", 180-pound senior. Not too many seniors that we're calling names on here today. On a first down call, rolling to his left side, stepping up, throwing. He's got a man. Is it caught? Crossed away. It is recepted by Quentin Clark. So Clark will pick up about 16 on the catch, and it will be first down inside Pine Bluff territory at the 46-yard line. About 14 yards on that catch to Clark. This time the offset eye out of the gun, and back to pass, rolling to his right, being flushed out of the pocket goes Mills. Mills steps up, throws, and incomplete. It was kind of a dump, but coming back for it was Oakley Hicks. And Hicks can't come up with it, so it'll be 2nd down and 10. Ball on the Hornets' 46-yard line. Again, gorgeous day here in Pine Bluffs. Again, this is what summer should have been throughout the course of the year. Not a threat of rain clouds, especially out in this part of the world. They do get some thunder boomers out here. Hash mark to the far side as Mills, again, operates out of the gun with the eye set. He'll pitch it back, and stumbling his way down to the 43-yard line after a 3-yard gain is Carson Kissling. So Kissling Carson now with 10 yards rushing on 2 attempts. 3rd down and 8. We'll call it actually a long 7. Actually, they gave him only 2 yards, so we'll make that change on the scorecard here. 3rd down and 8. Again, the offset eye out of the gun. In motion is Filio. Filio cuts it back inside. He'll be well short of the first down. Wrapped up immediately. If they give him anything, they're going to give him a yard.
These linebackers for Pine Bluffs really being aggressive on those holes in the middle, and you can tell why really the only success Shoshoni's had has either been when they get stacked up against the line or they try the outside edges with passing.
Yeah, very active in the backing core. Cameron Jessen, Sean Schmidl, Ryan Morton. 4th down with the ball right now on the 43-yard line. Coming to the near side is Filio along with Quentin Clark. Again, the offset eye, and rolling to his right side is Mills. Mills steps up, throws. He's got a man wide open. That's Filio. He'll have the first down, and then a late hit. And that's going to be 15 called against the Hornets. That'll be on Warren. So let's see. The ball is spotted at the 30-yard line, so a 13-yard pass play plus a 15 freebie. Filio was was just lingering around wide open. So they'll talk it over, which is a no-brainer, and they will mark it down to the 15-yard line. So the Wranglers looking to even things up here in the first quarter. Taco John scoreboard with 4:42 left to go here in the period. So now they'll line up in the inverted bone out of the gun. And this time they'll go straight ahead. Maybe for a yard was Carson Kissling. Kissling, who came in place of Landon Casper, who has yet to return. So they mark him down right about the line of scrimmage. We'll give him a yard on the play. Ball on the 15-yard line. Mills, and again goes to Carson Kissling, and he's hit immediately by Morin right at the line of scrimmage.
Submarined right underneath them there and read the gap well, saw it, and you can tell this is early season offense from both these two teams because the running backs, and again, young teams, so this isn't anything negative against these athletes, but you can tell it's early season because they're still not quite hitting those holes at full speed when they get around and see those open.
They're feeling their way through right now. And you got to have a little more confidence in your offensive line.
Absolutely.
Lone back in the backfield is Carson Kissling. He will now move to the right of Mills. Mills will send Filio in motion. He's back to pass. Flushed out by Merrifield, rolls to his right, and again under a heavy rush, gets away from three would-be tacklers, and then is finally dropped for a loss. Finally putting the finishing touches was Corbin Brown. And actually not a loss as he got to the 11-yard line, so it'll be 4th down as Mills will pick up 4. He's got 2 now for 12. Looked like he was going to be sacked for a loss. Ball right now resting on the 11-yard line. They need to make the 5.
I'll tell you this, Merrifield, he's 265, but that kid's quick for being 265. He was able to get back into that play after the quarterback was able to scoot away.
Yeah, and he needs to finish it too. He kind of shut down a little bit once Mills got back and then almost dropped back in his lap pocket. 4th down, Mills back to pass. He steps up, he throws, and it's going to be incomplete. And for the Hornets, they'll take over on downs. It will be 1st down and 10. Ball will be just outside the 10-yard line for Justin Lurwick and company. Taco John's scoreboard with 2:35 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 in favor of Pine Bluffs. That came at the 9:23 mark as Morin ran in from a yard after a turnover by the Wranglers on the opening drive. 1st down and 10. Lurwick will have Morin to his left as they will be going right to left across your radio dial as well as your video live stream. Again, thank you to Caleb Burgraff for doing that for us today. They'll hand off to Morin. Morin goes off tackle. Cuts it back, gets the green, breaks free. Unfortunately, ran into a little traffic, but he will be brought down at the 28-yard line. How about some breathing room? 18 yards on that run. They're going to say 16. I think it was 18 because the ball's on the 28. We'll give them 17. How about we meet in the middle on that one? 1st down and 10 nonetheless. What is this, a cloud blocking the sun?
You're the one who talked about Thunder Boomers earlier.
Nice fake. Delivered on the outside, still on his feet. And near midfield, making the grab is Quentin Clark on the nice fake. That one will net. Let's see if they mark him right at the 50. And that's what they're going to do, so we'll give him 13 on that pass reception. Make sure I write it in the right spot here. So 1st down by Pace, who makes the grab. Lurk will bring him up 1st down and 10. Fakes the handoff to Morin. Now flushed out of the pocket. Now scrambles. Now steps up and throws. He's got a man wide open. Unfortunately, overshoots his receiver, which was Wyatt Carter. Carter kind of stumbled around the 28-yard line and threw off his balance a little bit, so it'll be 2nd down.
Carter going to come out to get a breather after that streak.
Back in will be Travis Lurwick. He'll also be joined by Nathan Pace. About $1:47 left to go here in a fast-moving quarter. 2nd down and 10. Ball on the midfield stripe. Fake the handoff to Moore. A little fire outside. And caught again by Pace. Short gain 4. And it'll be 3rd down and long.
Pine Bluffs starting out running the ball a lot on their first drive after that opening pass. And now starting to spread the ball outside a bit more with some of those little passing plays to the edges after those big plays open things up.
Solis along with Schmidl coming back in. Carter also and Serrano. Trips to the near side on third down. Solis moves from right to left. Lurick back to pass. Steps up, throws, and Schmidl hit immediately. That one, you don't want to leave up in the air too long because the safety of the cornerback, Oakley Hicks, is going to come up and make you burp that ball up. Incomplete, fourth down.
And Oakley Hicks got up there quickly, and that was a strong hit. That's something that's going to have you hearing footsteps in the future, possibly.
So it'll be fourth down. Pine right now on the Wranglers side of the football field at the 47. Do believe they're going to go for it. As Berghofer comes in, he will flank to the far side, hash mark to the far side. Now they will shift everybody over with Berghofer moving to the near side. High snap, Lurick, and all Justin could do was pretty much eat it and lose 3 yards.
Nobody for Shoshoni bought into that motion, and in fact, they ran the ball to where the motion came to. So if anything, Shoshoni had extra people that were sitting there waiting that got shifted right into it, and unfortunately that play not working out the way that it was scripted and ends up turning the ball over.
It was one of those deals where the gamble paid off. You brought the house and it paid off. So it'll be first down and 10, ball right now at midfield. Possibly, I was looking at the clock. I thought we had time for one more play, but we got 1:32. So we got way Shoshoni runs their offense, probably about 4 more plays. Snap is back. Handoff to the second back through. Off tackle, carrying the football, is Carson Kissling. Kissling will pick up 2 on the run. I'll tell you what, he's carrying the workload. But it's nice to see, though, that Landon Casper is back in the lineup for the Wranglers.
Well, the Wranglers, too, they're not giving up on that inside run. This is a coaching staff that understands that you have to still try those inside runs in order to make sure everything else that is working stays open.
Mills, offset eye, out of the gun. We'll send Filio in motion. And they'll give it off. And dropped in the backfield for a loss. Schmidl comes through and drops him for a big loss. And that will be back to the 47-yard line, so that'll be a 5-yard loss for Filio.
You mentioned it, Shoshoni chewing things up. Probably the last play of this first quarter coming up on this one unless they go to the air.
Schmidl busting through, third down and long, 3rd and 13. They need to make the 40. Mills again operates out of the gun and will roll to his right. Rolling, steps up, fires one up. Got him, and in and out of the hands. And Filio kind of took his eye off the football and dropped it. So it'll be 4th down for the Wranglers, and not going to be the last play of the quarter. I think we have time for one more with 8.6 seconds to go. Dropping back deep to punt it away. Looks like that's going to be Morgan Neal. And Solis retreats back to around his own 20-yard line. So Solis, Jesus Solis, stands around his 20. Snap is back, good snap. And nice kick. Solis picks it up on a hop. How about that? 25, 30, 35. And dropped down at around the 39-yard line. That was a nice run, and that was a gamble there by Jesus Solis.
I think that ball caught him more than he caught that ball. Kind of bounced right up into his gut, and it took Shoshoni by surprise as well. I think they all were surprised that they weren't chasing down to down a ball. Instead, they were going after a player to tackle him.
End of quarter number 1, and it's the Hornets leading 7-0 over the Shoshoni Wranglers. We'll take a 60-second timeout. You are listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
All the Taco Tuesday excitement at Taco John's can really start to mix things up. Just look at these delicious simmering Tuesdays. And on this taco, Tuesdays are only $1.19. See you on taco at Tuesday John's. Oh, whoops, Taco John's.
Each of us comes with a different story, a different way of looking at the world. So whatever it is that makes you different will make all the difference. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
First down at 10, ball on the 39-yard line for the Hornets. Going south now on this north-south field. Lerwick lobs one up, incomplete for Serrano, and it will be second down. Already 10 passes for Justin Lerwick, who is 4 of 10. Ball on the 39-yard line.
Pine Bluff's looking to try and maybe change some of the styles that they have with the new class coming through. This is a chance to maybe take advantage of some of the new athleticism that you have out there on the field. If you're a coach and you wanted to try something last year but you didn't want to mess up the mojo, this is the type of game where you can try out some new things.
Travis Lerwick split out on top. Second down at 10. They'll go to Morin. Morin has a blocker in front of him. Nice block. Still on his feet, and he'll be brought down shy of the first down after a 9-yard gain. Well, that was a nice block up there by Baumberger. And 9 yards for the run for Ryan Morin.
Right. Trilling has been all over the field on defense so far today at that linebacker position. Ian Thompson kind of closing that one off.
Unofficially, according to Larry's stats, 39 yards for Morin rushing, including the 1-yard touchdown. Will Gray shuffling in bodies as you'll have Carter along with Schmidl split out on top. Morin will line up to the left and hold everything. We're going to get a timeout. Smart timeout. Will Gray a little late getting everybody out on the field. So with 11 minutes and some change, 9 seconds on the Taco John scoreboard, 7-0 in favor of Pine Bluffs. We're back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Each of us comes with a different story, a different
At
way.
Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires and fixing cars. We believe in faith, family, and community. The Fat Boys family has been serving Wyoming and Nebraska for over 50 years, and 3 generations later, our values have never changed. When you need tires or auto repairs, find the Fat Boys, and we'll treat you like family. Fat Boys Tire and Auto in Cheyenne, Laramie, Scottsbluff, and Wheatland. Get price quotes and schedule service at fatboystires.com.
House making sure we stay on the air for you in an exciting contest, 7-0 in favor of the Hornets. Third down and short. Coming in motion is Schmidl from the far side to the near side, and a reverse to Serrano. Looked like a little mix-up. Serrano breaks a tackle, and he'll have the first down as he crosses midfield to the 47-yard line. Nice job by Serrano as he does that all on his own. Little out of syncness in the backfield. So for Serrano, he'll pick up about 6 yards on that run.
Yeah, Colton Byman came around, and he was that end blocker and just didn't get a whole lot of push there. And Serrano came in and added a little bit of extra momentum to it and was able to take it for a first down.
Trips out on top. Lorick will flip it almost like a forward lateral. Still on his feet is Solis. And Solis, I guess you'd have to give that a pass, right?
Well, was it backwards or forward? I couldn't tell if it was forwards or backwards.
That was just
like
on the border right there.
Right on the line.
So Solis with the carry will give him 8 on the run. Second down and 2. Ball right now inside the 34. That'll be Solis who will have the first down. He is wrapped up, but he'll pick up about 5 on the run. 13 yards for Solis. So the Hornets driving again. Ball on the 33-yard line of Shoshoni.
And if you're Pine Bluffs, a touchdown here really has you feeling good going into the back half of the second quarter.
And plus you also will be getting the third quarter kickoff. First down and 10. Back to pass goes Lurick. He steps, he throws, he's got a man. That is caught. It's going to be a short gain across the way by Travis Lurick. We'll see how far they move the sticks to the tune of about 3 yards.
Those corners for Shoshoni starting to play up a little bit more. Wouldn't shock me if you see Pine Bluffs try to take another shot in this play, or if they get a decent distance on third down, maybe possibly go up there.
You got 9-man football, and Will Gray sends in 5 with the next play. Coming to the near side is Carter. He is flanked by Serrano. Morin to the right of Lurick. Morin gets the call and still on his feet, cuts it against outside, and he could go in. Touchdown! That is a touchdown for Ryan Morin to the tune of 31 yards. So Ryan Morin with both scores for the Hornets. Serrano will be on to attempt the PAT as he has to bring the T in. Lurick will hold. Nice drive by the Hornets after shutting down the Wranglers. Bad snap. Lurick will pick it up, rolls to his right, steps up, throws, got a man. That'll be Schmidl for the 2-point conversion. That one just kind of dribbled back to Lurick, but he had the presence of mind to find Schmidl for the 2-point PAT. And for the Hornets, they now increase their lead to 15-0. We'll be back with the ensuing kickoff after we take a 30-second timeout. You are listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm AJ Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
At Pine Bluffs High School in the form of Ryan Morin, 31 yards, and again he's smaller, and he's built low to the ground, and once he kicked it outside near the Shoshoni sideline, he went in unabated. So it will be Serrano to tee it up. Back deep will be Filio, and he is standing right around his 5-yard line. Serrano pooch kicks it. It's loose on the turf, batted around. However, that is a great job. And I don't know if that was in play or not, but tipping it back, that was a good old-fashioned tip drill right there. Caden Bridger tips it back to Caden Kissling, and he makes the grab and will be dropped at the 39-yard line. I don't think that was planned.
No, and I think Kissling was just kind of coming up to get involved somehow, and right place, right time, and Pine Bluffs nearly catching the Wranglers napping.
Yeah, Bridger, again, just kind of flailed his arm and luckily tapped it back to Kissling. First down and 10, Mills with Carson Kissling behind him, lone back in the backfield. They'll pitch it back to Kissling. He gets outside, still on his feet, breaks a couple of tackles, and Kissling down the sideline, far side. Let's see where he'll be officially spotted at. Looks like the 35-yard line. If that be the case, that's a 26-yard run by Kissling.
Strong play, found himself out in some space, had some good vision, made a good cutback, and right just like that, Shoshoni looking to answer.
First down and 10, ball spotted at the Pine 35-yard line. Mills again will come up with the offset eye, and he'll call his own number. Straight ahead this time, short gainer. Maybe a couple. And it'll be second down. We'll call it a short 8. As you can hear the roaring of the fan behind us. I think I've already dropped 5 pounds in here. I'm talking about it is a sauna. I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love the heat.
The free weight loss is a good thing.
Yes. I am sweating the football today. Again, offset eye. This time they'll go to Filio. Filio, nice little juke in the backfield, still on his feet. And again, he just lowers his head. He should have the first down.
He's a strong little back.
At the 24-yard line. And that will be more than enough for the first down. Give Filio 9 on that run. Wiley Filio, he's a 5'7", 140-pound junior.
He runs like he's 6 foot 200.
He looks like and he's all muscle too.
That is, I guarantee you, he's part of the Shoshoni wrestling team.
He is one little strong cat.
There's a guy that a lot of wrestling coaches, if he's not on the wrestling team, I guarantee the wrestling coach is begging for him to come out to the wrestling team.
Carson Kissling, low snap, and they'll lob it over the middle. Carson Kissling sidesteps one tackler as he stepped away from Morin and is close to another first down, 5 on the catch. So Kissling with his first reception. I think this would be more of a free play for Tony Trumpler, even though they're down 2 scores. You know, picking up 5-6 yards.
I agree with you on that one. You're at a short down and distance. You've been moving the ball well. Take a shot.
Yeah, ball right now resting inside the 20 at the 19. Offset eye, they will go to their big bruising back as he gets it over to the 13-yard line. That should be enough for the first down. On the carry was Casper. Again, nice to see that young man back in. He picks up 5. I know if you're a Pine Bluffs fan, you're not happy, but again, got injured very early and looks like wasn't that bad of an injury.
Well, when you talk about the way that Shoshoni's just kind of continued to burrow through that middle, they're showing the benefits of that now as they're wearing out that front 3 for Pine Bluffs.
First down on the 13-yard line. This time they'll go to Filio. Filio sees a little hole, and then it closes down quickly. And making the initial stop was Cameron Jessen.
I think you said, though, Larry, a little hole was there. You go back about 12 minutes ago to the first drive for Shoshoni. Those holes weren't there. That's where you start seeing guys really filling things up. David Merrifield at that nose tackle position. You had Ben Kohler outside on the outside. Just a lot of guys that were filling gaps, and now those gaps finding seams.
Morgan Neal split out on top. Rolling to his right side is Mills. He will tuck it away and be close to the first down as he will pick up about 5 yards on that run. It'll be third down and short. We'll give him 4 on the run officially. So Mills was looking that way for Neal and could not get it off, but found a little running room to roam, and it will be third down. They'll hand it off to Kissling, and Carson Kissling should have the first down.
Looks like he's about a yard shy of the end zone.
As he's down to the 1-yard line, they only needed to make the 4, so about a yard and a half to go.
Now, if you're Shoshoni, it's really mathematics with the way you've been running the ball on this drive. I don't think they've run backwards at all.
Would not be surprised to see Carson Kissling or Filio take it in. And it will be Carson Kissling and wrapped up. Did he get in?
Ooh.
I think he's going to be short. Nice job on the wrap-up.
Really was.
At the bottom of the pile there, and that was Schmidl to prevent him from getting in.
Schmidl doing a great job on that one. I'm kind of surprised Shoshoni didn't go under center for that play and see if they maybe do at some point in time, but they're continuing out of the shotgun.
And Mills will call his own number straight ahead, pushes the pile forward. He is in touchdown. So Braxton Mills with the TD and Shoshoni on the board here in quarter number 2. Nice drive. Took him 61 yards. Mills will hold. And on to attempt the PAT is Ethan Tarango, a 5'4", 430-pound senior. I'm thinking he's got a little soccer in him. Placement is down. Kick blocked. So for the Hornets, they lead 15-6. Taco John's scoreboard with 4 minutes and 33 seconds to go until halftime. We'll be back after a 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm AJ Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
As we will be in Torrington, Trailblazers playing host to the Burns Bronx as we continue our county swing here in eastern Laramie County. We get Pine Bluffs first this week as they move their game from Friday to today, and we'll go back to our Friday schedule beginning next weekend as R.J. Fox will rejoin me. Again, thank you to Caleb Bergerath for coming out of the bullpen. We called on the lean, lanky right-hander to bail us out here today.
From the great state of Colorado, and now everybody hates me.
Nope. You can't help it.
Cannot help it where I'm from, just where I'm at now.
I was born on the left coast. I'm embarrassed. Quentin Clark has it teed up back deep as Morin, along with Solis. I used to be very proud to say I was from Cali. Now,
the same with Colorado. I used to be
it.
really proud of Colorado. And
Solis fakes the reverse, keeps it himself, spin away from one tackler, still on his feet. He could go all the way. Solis, he's on his horse to the 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. How about Jesus Solis, 88 yards on that return, again, as he faked the handoff to Morin and went the distance.
And that was not an easy one to do it on, all the way on the far sideline where he picked that one up on the roll. Usually those are the ones where you look up and you have 5 jerseys in your face already, but just a good job of finding some seams and the blocking for Pine Bluffs.
Hold the phone. There's a yellow flag.
Oh, the hanky.
That's twice now they've taken away my excitement on touchdowns. What are they doing to me?
Don't these officials know?
Usually when the hanky's down, it's going to be a block in the back. So wipe out the touchdown. Luckily I brought a pencil today.
I'll tell you what, as a coach, that's one of those ones that frustrates you because, as you mentioned, it's most likely the block in the back or a hold, and it's well behind where the play was, which means if that's a block in the back, it was a kid that just wanted to get involved and feel a part of it, and unfortunately, that's not the time to do it.
Second major.
They're still talking it over.
Whistled against the Hornets. Well, the ball's on the 33, so you got to mark it back 10 to the 23.
True. I'm just thinking they were trying to figure out whether that was going to be a hold or what it was. I never still haven't seen the official signal.
Either block below the waist. We have not seen it yet.
And doesn't look like we may not see it.
So we'll call it a hold.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no, we're going to get the football shifted out.
See if our white cap gives us a indication. I'm thinking I'm with you. It looks like it might be a hold because it looked like a 10-yard walk-off, not a 15 for a personal.
So it'll be first down and 10. Wipe off the touchdown. Boy, I had the crowd and me all excited. You too? First down and 10. Ball right now on the 23-yard line. They'll hand off to Morin. Morin is wrapped up and dropped for a loss of 3. Sneaking through there was Wyatt Edis.
Well, that's the worst part about it for Pine Bluffs as far as that penalty getting called back. You had a ton of momentum that just shifted to your side, and all of it goes away, and now Shoshoni suddenly is going to start digging in because they want to prove that was a fluke. So Pine Bluffs, the mountain got a little bit steeper after that penalty.
15-6 our score as we are nearing halftime. Taco John scoreboard at the 3:50 mark. Lorick again will operate out of the gun. He'll have Morin off to his right. And he's back to pass. Flushed out, rolls to his right, wants to go long, and coming back for it, but unfortunately it falls about 3 yards short. As coming back for it was Travis Lorick as he busted the pattern.
That was a tough one for a receiver. Just you're taught to look back at a certain time, so really you don't know your quarterback's in trouble until it's too late to try and save him at that point in time, and ends up at least being a harmless incomplete pass rather than being thrown up into coverage.
3rd down and 13. Schmidl to the near side. Carter split out on top. Serrano flanked out on top as well, too. Back to pass goes Lorick. He steps, he throws. He's got Schmidl in. Nice job. I thought Schmidl was going to haul it in, but a hand by Oakley Hicks slapped it away from him.
Schmidl himself thought he should have had that one. He gave the little hand clap to himself afterwards, kind of feeling like he got the fingertips on it. But you mentioned it. That was great defense right there as the cornerback was able to really play safe, play smart, and arrive at the right time.
If Hicks doesn't come down with that, that's a lot of real estate that would have been open for Schmidl down the sidelines. Bad snap over the head of Pace. Pace is going to have to eat it, and he will be dropped at the 6-yard line, and all of a sudden now things coming apart.
You look over at that Shoshoni sideline right now. There's a little bit more energy that's been picking up, and we talked about the fact 15-0, about 8 minutes to go. Okay, we're feeling pretty good about how this half's rolling along and the way we're going into halftime. Now all of a sudden Shoshoni's got a chance to at least make this a 1-point game, if not, well, they can't tie it, but to at least make things a little bit more interesting here.
1st down and 10, or 1st and goal, I should say, for Shoshoni. And this time Kissling goes nowhere, wrapped up immediately by Baumberger. And looks like that'll be a loss of 1. You know what kind of bites, too, for Pace? He gets credited with a 14-yard loss, Ryan.
Oh, that's always the worst for a punter. Not your fault, but you still end up paying the brunt for it.
And he's 5'9". That thing was about 8'3" over his head. 2nd down and goal. This time they'll pitch it back. A lot of running room for Kissling. He breaks one tackle. He's in. Touchdown.
What a move by Kissling.
Carson Kissling, 7 yards, and not the equalizer, though.
Schmidl almost had him out on the far sideline, too. He was able to get out there, but it was that last little move by Kissling that was able to get him out or back inside, and just saw Schmidl overrun his target.
Well, they're going to try for the Singleton again. Tarango will be on. Last time was a bad snap, and the PAT was blocked. Hicks will hold. Placement is down, and this kick line drive, no good, off to the left. So it's 15-12 in favor of the Hornets. Still some time left on the Taco John scoreboard to the tune of 2:42 before halftime. We'll be back after a 30-second timeout. You are listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm AJ Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com, and we'll make it easy.
Phone. Tell us a little bit what's going on at LCCC. We also have the weekly schedule. We'll alert our engineer, Lanny, back at the house. After we take our timeout at halftime, we will go into that weekly schedule, and then you'll send it back out to us after the break. So, again, that'll be our first element in halftime, the weekly schedule for the high schools. We're going to try it again here for the Hornets. This time it's going to be booted away and out of bounds. So it's going to be a good start for Pine here. And let's see, I think that goes to the 35-yard line, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe the 35. I always get confused on this, whether it's the 40.
40 or the 35.
Looks like they're going to say the 35, so
yeah.
Looks like we were correct in our assumptions.
Man, we are batting 1,000. Holy Toledo!
Nice big pat on the back for that one. Know the rule books, right?
Actually, I'm hitting 333 because I've blown a couple of touchdowns.
That's not you blowing them. That's the players bringing some flags out there to fool you.
First down and 10 on the 35-yard line. Hand off to Morin. Morin has a blocker in front of him, but tripped up at the 37. Brought down by Filio. And they're going to give him the 36, so give him just a yard on that run. Yards are getting tough now for the Hornets.
And if Morin had gone outside with that one a little bit more, if he tried to take a couple steps to the edge, I think he might have been able to get the corner. Instead, tried to cut it up too quick, followed right behind his blocker, and that's a trap sometimes that a lot of high school running backs will fall into.
Man, Baumberger got out in a hurry to, open things up. Hand off this time to Morin. Morin puts his head down. He'll have the first down as he drags his way forward near the Hornets bench for 10 yards on that run. And that will keep the possession in favor of the Hornets.
That was a much better job of reading the field versus just running the play by Morin.
2 minutes to go on the Taco John scoreboard until halftime. Back to pass goes Lurk. He steps up and throws, and that one a little short for Serrano. Serrano's open. It might have been tipped.
Yeah, that was good penetration early on by coming in by Shoshoni. As that can be tough for a lineman on the offensive side, going from run blocking a couple where you're getting downhill to suddenly have to shift back into pass blocking, especially when you get into those final 2 minutes where you're trying to hurry things up, and you can get beat sometimes by those defensive linemen.
Justin Lorick is 5 of 14. He'll have Solis off to his right, trips to the near side, hash mark to the near side on a second down call. Back to pass goes Lorick. He steps, he throws. He's got a man right in front of the Pine Bluffs bench. It's going to be a short gainer into the hands of Pace. 4 yards.
Pine Bluffs doing a lot of rinse and repeat right now. A lot of short plays that are very similar to each other. They went back-to-back with the exact same running play, now back-to-back with the same passing play, just different receivers in the pattern.
Nathan with his third reception of the afternoon. It's still late afternoon. It's not evening yet. And it's been just a nice day today. But you can tell the kids are feeling it. They are getting some of those cramps worked on. Motion by the Hornets. Lurick steps up, throws. He's got a man. Serrano was wide open. He threw to the wrong side of Serrano. Serrano was looking in the field, and he went to the sidelines with it, so it'll be 4th down. That will stop the clock with $1:40 to go.
That was all on Wyatt Edis from Shoshoni that forced that incomplete pass, because he was right in the backfield chasing down the quarterback and kind of forced him to lob it further up the field and rush it more than he wanted to.
Hornets want to talk about it, so while we got a chance, we'll take a timeout. 1:40 to go. Pine Bluffs 15, Shoshoni 12. Back after this 30-second timeout, you're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings, line drive to center field. 15 steps up. Another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam. The Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up. Every passenger, every trip, every time.
Larry Perlotti along with Caleb Berger. I got a text here from Ty Lane, skipper of the Post 6 Sixers. I'm going to have to get to that at halftime. I don't want them to think I'm blowing them off right now.
I'm sure
we're actually doing a game today, Ty. Thursday football on 1480 K-Ray.
Season opener for Pine Bluffs.
4th down. and the Hornets are going to go for it. Lurick will pooch kick it, and there's nobody back, so that will work. And it'll be down at the 25-yard line.
And I like that play coming there from Pine Bluffs. Don't risk having any type of return. You're in a place where trying to go for it does make sense, possibly if Shoshoni was thinking that way. And really, you pin Shoshoni back now, and a good chance you at least take the lead into the halftime break. And then you can calm down and you can talk to your team about the 12 unanswered points that you've given up and how do you stall that? How do you get the momentum back on your side?
First down and 10 for the Wranglers. And again, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. That's all they ask out of this team.
Now, if you're the Wranglers, do you try taking a shot here?
Well, they got trips to the near side. Kid with a strong arm in Mills. And he'll empty the backfield. He'll flip it out, picked up by, like Carson Kissling. That one kind of dribbled into his arms.
I like that play, but Wiley Filio needs to get out and be more aggressive in his block if Shoshoni was going to do it, because Pine Bluffs, and again, to the credit of the listeners from Pine Bluffs, they were able to get out there quickly and knock it down, and the bubble screen just didn't work out the way they wanted it to.
Second down and 9. It'll be Mills calling his own number. Baumberger wraps him up, drops him probably right at the line of scrimmage. I don't think they're going to give him any forward progress.
Just a good job by this Pine Bluffs defense right now, recognizing the plays, recognizing the feel of the game, and kind of putting themselves in the coach's shoes for a bit, saying, okay, they went left that time. Good chance they probably try and go right this time.
They did give Mills a yard on the play. Looks like a timeout called by Shoshoni. With under a minute to play, 58.8 seconds to go, 15-12 our score. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The players return to the field.
Meet Barry. After a long cold winter and a couple of hard stops,
all the Taco Tuesday excitement at Taco John's can really start to mix things up. Just look at these delicious simmering Tuesdays. And on this taco, Tuesdays are only $1.19. See you on taco at Tuesday John's. Oh, whoops, Taco John's.
With 6 crunchy beef tacos plus a pound of potato olays, our 6-pack and a pound is perfect for date night, movie night, 1,000-piece puzzle night, camping, tailgates, or any day that ends in Y.
Get $2 off the 6-pack and a pound, only from Taco John's.
Got to go do some public service work, so they'll leave it in our capable hands. That means I'm going to have to read live commercials. That's a scary thought. Me reading commercials? Holy Toledo. Third down and long, 3rd and 8 for Mills. Again with the offset eye, rolls to his right side. Under a little bit of a rush, gets it off to Filio. Filio has the first down as he makes the grab at the 42-yard line. That'll be more than enough for the first down.
A really good job on the patience by Shoshoni on that one, realizing we got 50 seconds still. We're going to be able to either move it down or we're going to have to punt the ball away on this play. And let's just take our time at the very least and get a good play off to give ourselves a chance. And that's exactly what they did. Filio coming across the formation, picks it up.
16 yards on the catch and run by Filio. Again, offset eye with Mills out of the gun. He will roll to his left, has protection. Now it breaks down, throws one up for grabs, and it's going to be picked off. Picked off at the 48-yard line, and coming up with it for the Hornets is Justin Lurick.
What good penetration. I believe that was Schmidl who got in there into the backfield almost right away. Got his hands just launched up into the face of the quarterback and forced that one to be thrown off of the back foot, and fantastic work on the defense to take advantage. And 2 different Shoshoni receivers there, and the Pine Bluffs defensive back comes away with the ball.
Well, you're not old enough to remember, but that looked like a Billy Kilmer pass. That was a wounded duck. 41.2 seconds to go. Ball on the Hornets' 49-yard line. Snap is back to Lurick. Lurick under a heavy rush, and down he goes as he's sacked for a 5-yard loss. Might not be a bad thing, too, for the Hornets, and I'll tell you why. It's better for them to go into the locker room, regroup. You're going to get the ball back in the 3rd quarter. So maybe one more play.
don't think they actually have to snap the ball.
Yeah, I
again.
think that's what Will Gray was looking at the clock about.
The worst comes to worst, you can take the timeout, or a 5-yard penalty is not going to kill you because you're just going to come out and take a knee anyways.
We're down to 7 seconds. And it looks like both teams are going to head to the locker room. After one half of play in the season opener for the Hornets and the Shoshoni Wranglers, we've got a good one. Hornets lead at the intermission 15-12. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. A 2-minute timeout. We'll follow that up with the weekly schedule, then back out to us right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Shake up how you wake up with a bolder breakfast at Taco John's. Hit snooze on the same old, and bite into crispy potato olays, bacon, and nacho cheese. It's always a good day for nacho cheese.
Get 2 mean potato breakfast burritos for just $6, only at Taco John's.
Each of us comes with a different story, a different way of looking at the world. So whatever it is that makes you different will make all the difference. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
At Fat Boys Tire and Auto, our business is about more than just selling tires and fixing cars. We believe in faith, family, and community. The Fat Boys family has been serving Wyoming and Nebraska for over 50 years, and 3 generations later, our values have never changed. When you need tires or auto repairs, find the Fat Boys, and we'll treat you like family. Fat Boys Tire and Auto in Cheyenne, Laramie, Scottsbluff, and Wheatland. Get price quotes and schedule service at fatboystires.com.
We're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm AJ Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to kiaofcheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
They'll be at Homer Scott Field to take on the Sheridan Bronx. At the Okie Blanchard Sports Complex, it will be the Eastside Thunderbirds as they entertain the powerful Natrona County Mustangs. Laramie will take to the road to take on the Campbell County Camels in Gillette. And also in Gillette, the Thunder Basin Bolts will host the Rock Springs Tigers. In Class 2A action, the Burns Bronx, they'll hit the road in non-conference action as they'll take on Yuma, Colorado in Yuma. That's a check on the high school sports schedule. We will take a timeout when we come back. Starting lineup between the Hornets and the Wranglers right here on 1480 K-Ray.
We're all about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne.
It's all so clear with Gill windows. Your home deserves the very best. That's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill windows.
Lanny's got to take off here in a couple of minutes, so Lanny, just hang tough here real quick while I do some quick stats, and then we'll come back to you for a quick break, and then you can send it out to us and be on your way. Pine Bluff started.
I don't have to go now.
Okay, so what we got going on, and that's good news that our engineer will be staying put. Pine Bluff started off the scoring with 9:23 to go in the first quarter. Morin took it in for 1 yard, and a Serrano PAT made it 7-0. And then Morin in the second quarter, again, after a nice job defensively by Pine Bluff's, a 31-yard run, and then a low snap, but Schmidl caught the 2-point PAT from Lorick and to make it 15-0. We thought, hey, maybe a route could be in the offing. And then here come the Wranglers. That was with about 7+ minutes to go. Mills scores on a 1-yard run on a nice drive by the Wranglers with 4:33 left to go in the period. It's 15-6. And then Kissling scores a couple minutes later to make it 15-12. By the way, PAT was blocked on the first attempt, and the PAT the second time through on Kissling's 7-yard run was wide to the left. 15-12. That's where we stand at the intermission. Looking at some of the stats right now. Landon Casper got injured early in the contest, but is back on the field. He has 1 rush for 5 yards. Braxton Mills has carried it 5 times for 18 yards. Caleb All unofficial stats. Oh, by the way, we're looking at Wiley Filio has 21 yards rushing, and that is on 7 attempts. Caden Kissling has 7 yards rushing on 2 attempts, and Carson Kissling has been picking up the workload. He has 10 rushes for 49 yards. Passing the football, Braxton Mills, not too bad. He is 6 of 8, but does have an interception for 45 yards. Filio has a couple of catches. Clark has a catch. Kissling, that would be Carson Kissling, has a couple of those catches as well. For the Hornets rushing the football, Justin Lorick has -2 rushing on 2 attempts as he was sacked once. Ryan Morin, 76 yards, 31 of them on 1 gallop in 9 attempts. So he's not doing too bad, over 8+ yards a rush. Abe Serrano has 6 yards. Solis, 13 yards on a couple of rushes. And Pace, who got, he gets that 11-yard loss on the bad snap. Justin Lorick has thrown the football 17 times this late afternoon. He's 7 of 17 for 38 yards. Serrano has a catch. Lorick has 1 of the catches. Carter has 1, and Pace has a trio of those catches. Again, my stats all unofficial at the present time. So again, we stand here at the intermission. It's 15-12 in favor of the Hornets. Hornets will get the football when we open up the third quarter. Taco John's scoreboard right now showing the lead by 3. We'll be back. Caleb Burgraff is going to update you what's going on at LCCC. A plethora of things are going on right now at Laramie County Community College. We'll be back after this 2-minute timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings, line drive to center field. 15 steps up, another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam, the Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up, every passenger, every trip, every time.
Meet Barry. After a long cold winter and a couple of hard stops, he was on a drive, and then he started to notice this. It is recommended to have your brakes checked every 5 to 10,000 miles or once a year. At the Brake Stop, we always offer 100% free brake inspections. Let our ESC certified technicians see if your brake pads and rotors are getting along. So for the best brakes, best service, best price, stop at the Brake Stop. Our Casper location, 2849 East 2nd Street, 307-473 3072, or in our Cheyenne location, 1622 East Lincoln Way, 307-514-6231.
Well, they call this week Week 1. We were involved in Week 0 last week with the Shiny Thunderbirds as they just blew up the Campbell County Camels 49-12 here. We got a good one, 15-12 in favor of the Hornets, the defending Class 1A 9-man champions, as the team they faced in Laramie, the Shoshoni Wranglers in town. They trail 15-12. And again, nice crowd on hand here for today. Across the way in Shoshoni, I don't know who's minding the store, but not a big travel crew there. And those of you that are watching it, we are glad that you get a chance to watch us here on YouTube.
They were smart over there, by the way, though, to bring the umbrella out today because they're needing it.
I would be happy to be sitting over there right now getting a suntan. Anyway, so as we are into officially Week 1, so this will be the second weekend of activities out at LCCC. Week 3 is going on. You got a plethora of things going on.
Oh, absolutely we do. We got to start off with volleyball, and a huge shout-out, first of all, to the crowds that have been coming out to Story Gym the first 2 home games. I think doubling what our crowd sizes were last year for volleyball, so huge shout-out to the fans that have been coming out there. But volleyball off to an 8-2 start. There is a chance that if they go undefeated this weekend against Iowa Western, Garden City, those two obviously Kansas and Iowa schools, then Barton, Kansas, and North Platte Community College. If they can win those 4 matches, there's a good chance they could jump into the top 20 in the NJCA. Barton, a ranked school at number 19, Iowa Western just on the edges of it. So good chance to kind of show off some things for the volleyball team there. Men's soccer has the weekend off. Rough start to the season, but also a very difficult schedule for them. They've taken on 2 ranked teams that are both ranked in the top 5. So didn't get any breaks there. And then also lost to Yavapai 0-3, but things improving for the men's soccer team, and they held their own against number 4 Salt Lake Community College in Salt Lake. So I think definitely some progress there. And then the women's soccer team, they're out on the road today in Florida. They flew out today to Florida, taking on Daytona this weekend on Friday. So that'll be tomorrow at 5 o'clock over in Daytona. And then they'll take on Eastern Florida State College on Sunday. That at 5 o'clock start as well. And they got lucky on that one. The hurricane
good timing. The hurricane already went through.
Well, and the good news is, too, that since it was a hurricane coming from the Gulf of Mexico versus coming from the Atlantic, it hit that western side of the state of Florida versus the eastern side. And if it had hit the eastern side, we might have been talking about pushing things back or scrapping that road trip altogether. But good starts for them. Rodeo, they're getting ready to get going. I know we got team pictures coming up for them next week, and then their first rodeo starts on the 13th of September.
Mention we have a new coach. Again, congratulations.
Absolutely.
To both. Again, going to UW.
Seth Glaus over at UW.
He moves on to UW, and now we have a new coach. It was within the program, right?
Yeah. Dean Finnerty moved right up, and I think one of the things that shows you exactly how good it is to have Dean on that coaching staff, nobody left to go follow Seth over to UW. And that's nothing bad about Seth. Seth didn't really push anybody. He wasn't trying to pull anybody, but when you have an assistant coach take over and everybody stays with that assistant coach, and that's a really good sign for where the program's at. And then basketball seasons, those are coming up. Both Ayana and Dwayne have some good teams that they've lined up. New assistant coaches on the sidelines for both of them, as Deshaun Portley moving on to State Fair, and I believe Coach Z trying to focus on some other goals and trying to move into her coaching career a little bit more. So new assistant coaches coming up there. And then esports, new head coach there, John Kershaw taking over. And if you recognize the name Kershaw, that is the father, Kiara Kershaw, our starting goalkeeper. And excited to see what he does. We'll have 2 of our 4 national champion competitors back. Isaiah Aarons is going to be back in Warzone, and Demetrius Chronopoulos will be back in Warzone, and several new ones.
Speaking of Deshaun Portley, congratulations to Deshaun, Hall of Famer, and well-deserved. And again, I've been out here since 1986. I had the opportunity to cover LCCC. We did on 1480 K-Ray through the 17 through the 22 season. Deshaun about a half dozen years before us, but again, just the play that he exemplified. Again, I do believe that was under head coach Jason Ficca back in the day. And was a good number 2 guy. You want to talk about a guy that knew the program very well. Coach Salisbury very happy to have Deshaun in his back pocket.
And I think he's going to be dearly missed. He already is already. I know Coach Salisbury is saying I need to get an assistant coach in here quick because Deshaun did quite a bit for me. But congratulations to all of our Hall of Famers, by the way, too. We got Gemma House from Australia. She was part of the 2015 and 16 teams for women's soccer. The 2005 women's soccer team as a whole got inducted into the Hall of Fame. Also, Jamie Friel, a golfer from the 1991 and 1992 national championship teams. Jovan Segrin, the first athletic director coming back from athletics, and then Emi Yamamoto, who probably, when you look at the post-career of an athlete here at El Trip, probably has the most accolades out of anybody, including not only playing for the Olympic team for Japan, playing for the national team multiple times in FIFA, and also playing for 3 or 4 different pro teams with 200 starts. So,
if Dwayne needs another assistant coach, I am available. I am 66, Dwayne. I am old. I'm cranky. I can get plenty of technicals for you if you want. I've seen the lay of the land of Region 9, so I know I could be a great help to you on the bench. That way you don't get teed up. I get teed up, and then they send me off to the locker room. How does that sound?
I'll pitch. I think I'll pitch that one to him tomorrow.
Oh, one thing's for sure. I'm going to make him look a lot thinner. That's for sure. Dwayne and I right here could be our own offensive line.
Well, you got a guy that knows how to cook and smoke like he does, or smoke meat to clarify. So smoke meat. He is a barbecue connoisseur right there.
He lives right by me.
Oh man, I'm sure it smells just delicious outside of his house every day.
I had some great conversations with Dwayne, especially when we had those long bus rides. And then we stopped in Casper, and we always stopped at the Pizza Ranch. Dwayne and we could do some serious damage during those buffets. Let me tell you, it will be Pine Bluffs football after the ensuing kickoff as it comes our way. And again, trying to, dump it in, and covering it up was Wyatt Carter. So it looks like the Hornets were expecting that little pooch kick there by Clark.
And I think Shoshoni is very scared of kicking it away after that touchdown return that Pine Bluffs had. The last 2 since then have been out of bounds and one rolled up the middle of the field.
Pine this time will be going south-north on their home turf. First down at 10. It'll be Morin to the right of Lorick out of the gun. And it'll be Morin carrying the football for the first time straight ahead. And he will bust through for about 5. That's a good start for the Hornets.
Solid carry for Pine Bluffs there, is getting back to the running game right now. And that was really something that I think they were trying to reestablish in the late part of that first half and just weren't able to get the momentum they wanted to.
Travis Lorick, along with Pace, comes back in as they'll shuffle in the plays. Morin will now line up to the left, out of the gun. To the near side comes Travis Lorick, Pace out on top. Second down and 5. And Morin will come up straight ahead. This time another first down. That should be more than enough by about a half yard. And it is. So 2 back-to-back 5-yard runs by Ryan Morin. Schmidl, Carter, and Serrano comes in. Here's, if I'm in the Will Gray playbook, here's one where I'd like to possibly light it up. Ball right now at midfield. Trips to the near side. Lorick. And he'll roll to his left. Rolling. Steps up. Throws. Got a man wide open. That's Schmidl. Schmidl will make the grab for 11 yards to the 39-yard line.
Good job by Schmidl, just taking what was in front of him, too. Found the hole in the defense. Wasn't worried about trying to make it as much as he could. Just worried about moving the chains and picks up a solid gain of 11.
So the Hornets come out, flexing their offensive muscle thus far. First down and 10, ball resting on the Wrangler 39-yard line. Lorick again operates out of the gun. Morin to his right side, fakes the handoff to Morin, lobs one out, and Pace looked up into the sun, and believe me, that sun is bright. We'll be seeing it when we go home around 7 o'clock. But that one is incomplete.
Well, I went from looking into the glare of the sun to looking into the glare of the white jersey of Filio. And
well, you know, he kind of you could tell he was fighting it off.
Yep.
And if you ever play soft toss baseball and you throw one up high, you're kind of like, whoa, get that out of my face. So trips out on top on a 2nd down and 10 call. Lorick rolls to his right, steps, throws, got a man. That's Schmidl. A late flag comes in. Schmidl will be brought down after about a 5-yard catch. Let's see what the flag is. It's going to be against the Hornets. Oh, by the way, the Hornets were flagged twice for 25 yards in the first half.
And that one's going to be against Ethan Baumberger. Already had his head down, and that's going to be a holding call against him. He was the first one to walk back away from the line. He decided, all right, I'm going to get this huddle started right now because that way maybe I can start thinking about my responses.
2 of the common penalties called in high school football, hold as well as illegal motion.
Good news is it wasn't a hold deep in the backfield, so it's not like it's going to end up being a 13 or 14-yard penalty. It's just going to end up being about
10 yards exactly.
10 exact.
So it will be 2nd down and 20. Still a lot of real estate for the Hornets to cover. Taco John's scoreboard stopped at the 10:32 mark here in quarter number 3. Lorick will go to Solis. Little scat back gets into the secondary, and he's brought down by Filio after a gain of 12.
Starting to see some of these running backs, particularly for Pine Bluffs. We mentioned in the first quarter where they were kind of feeling out those holes. Now they're starting to hit those holes a little bit harder. That's what game day reps can do for a kid.
Trips to the near side. Here's one where you'd like to do a draw. Or you could do it out of the belly. Hash mark to the far side. However, Lurick will roll to his left. Under a heavy rush, gets away, steps and throws. And grabbing his arm was Filio. Give him his due on that one. And that one just slams down into the turf about 5 yards in front. It'll be 4th down. Looks like Will Gray is going to keep that offensive unit out there at the 38-yard line of the Wranglers.
Pine Bluffs was a little bit lucky that one was kind of batted down and knocked away before it could get out there because Filio was pushing from behind, but Kissling was right there in defensive coverage to possibly step in and get an interception on that one.
Well, you got to hate that too when you're a quarterback and as you're throwing the ball, the guy is hitting your arm at the same time. Got to have a little bit of a stinger somewhere in there. 3rd down, snap is back. Lorick steps, throws, and will throw it low and incomplete. Try to hook up with Travis Lorick, and it will be 4th down.
And there could be your evidence of just what you're saying, Larry. That one did not look comfortable coming out of his hands, and he was pressured, but it wasn't right up in his grill like it was the last time. So either he's hearing footsteps, seeing ghosts, or possibly, like you said, took a bit of a stinger there at that end of that play.
Well, you know, Travis at 5'10", about 5 inches shorter than his brother, Stu, who could survey the whole field from that vantage point. 1st down and 10, ball on the 38-yard line of the Wranglers. Snap is back, and they will go again, and a big hole still on his feet. And down to the 45-yard line. And I got to tell you, Carson Kissling, since he's come on the scene, he has been doing a lot of damage.
Kissling just runs like a grown man. I mean, that's the easiest way to say it. I mean, a sophomore, so not necessarily one that you would necessarily expect. He's probably opened some eyes of his coaches today as far as his durability.
Offset eye again to Carson Kissling. This time he goes nowhere. I think he stumbles forward. If they give him anything, it'll be a yard.
Well, and it looked like at the beginning of that play, either Shoshoni got lucky they didn't get a false start or everybody held off and kind of that forward lean because it looked like the 3 backs jumped before the quarterback got the ball, and that could have caused that stumble because you get that momentum going forward, trying to pull back. See if they can adjust that now going into this.
I think it was more of the snap that came back real slow.
That could be it, too.
2nd down. This time they will go to Filio. Filio wrapped up by Schmidl after a short gain of 2. And it will be 3rd down and long. This is 4-down territory. Oh, by the way, I think I would be shocked if they stop them and they don't go for it. Because, again, you're on your opponent's side of the 50-yard line. Ball right now on the 43. They need to make the 30, just shy of the 35. High formation. Out of the gun. They'll pitch it back to Carson Kissling. Wrapped up by Morin for a loss. How about to the tune of about 5 yards on that loss? Morin just busted through like a train that was just off the tracks.
And got helped out by the force to the outside by Binkhofer, who was also quickly into the backfield. So good job by the front three and even those back three that help him out by the Pine Bluffs Hornets.
So it'll be 4th down. Now you are deep enough to punt it away. Back deep is Morgan Neal. Case of the fake. High snap. Neal puts a foot into it. Goes off to the right. Bounces in the hands of Solis. Solis chopped down right away. When he was cut down by Caden Kissling.
The name just keeps on popping up
You got
all over
Carson
the place
and
out
Caden
there.
on there.
It is. The two of them have been all over the place, and as I said, I think Caden really opening some eyes that he's going to be a big talent there for
that'd be
Shoshoni.
Carson.
Carson, excuse me, yeah.
Caden's the backup QB, by the way. So 1st down for the Hornets with the ball on the 17-yard line. Late defensive arrival. Lorick to Morin. Morin sweeps outside, still on his feet as he is brought down. Let's see where they chop him down. It looks like the 25. If they mark it back to the 24, it will be a 7-yard gain.
It looked almost like the turf monster came up there and grabbed him for a second, and Shoshoni was there to finish the job.
7 yards. Kind of gives you a Will Gray a free play. Schmidt will come out to the near side. Hashmark to the far side. Lorick out of the gun. Morin couldn't get the one block. He was hoping from Hoffer, and crosses the 25 to the 26. Be 3rd down and 1. And here's the difference too. And we saw Justin last year in some mop-up duty. Again, arm strength does not compare to his brother. His brother was basically all world at that quarterback position. But he'll develop into it. He's just a young man. He's just a junior. High snap. Morin. 1st down yardage and more. He could go all the way. No flags down. Morin to the 30, to the 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Hornets. 74 yards for Ryan Morin. 74-yard run. You could see once he got past the backers, he was off to the races. Not a good sign seeing pace limp off.
And that's the difference between hitting the hole and feeling the hole and hitting the hole and being full speed by the time you hit that hole. That's what burst him out there for that touchdown.
That touchdown comes at the 5:55 mark of quarter number 3. Serrano on for the PAT. Snap is back. Placement is down. Kick just makes it over the crossbar. And the Hornets up by 10, 22-12 with 5:55 to go on the Taco John scoreboard. We'll be back after this 30-second timeout. You are listening to and watching Hornets football right here on 1480 K-Ray.
Meet Barry.
All the Taco Tuesday excitement at Taco John's can really start to mix things up. Just look at these delicious simmering Tuesdays. And on this taco, Tuesdays are only $1.19. See you on taco at Tuesday John's. Oh, whoops, Taco John's.
Each of us comes with a different story, a different way of looking at the world. So whatever it is that makes you different will make all the difference. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
As that play developed, and you can see him sneaking through that second line of defense, and then after that it was just a foot race to the end zone, which he won too. So I'm assuming he's going to probably have a good career in track.
I could see that.
So it'll be Serrano to boot it away. Again, Hornets have not really kicked far. They've kind of pooched it, almost come away with a couple of them. But back deep is Filio. He'll stand around as 3. Also back with him is Branson Thompson. And across the way, looks like that is Oakley Hicks.
That's an important drive for Shoshoni, and at that same note for Pine Bluffs, because if you are Shoshoni, you can't afford to go down by 3 scores now that you're heading towards the fourth quarter. You got to get points in this one, or you're going to have to change your offense.
And again, another pooch kick coming up for it and making the grab, and then just ducking his head across the way and hitting the turf was Caden Kissling. Well, and also, too, you know what's coming back to haunt the Wranglers are those 2 blown extra points.
It would be a 8-point game if they had been able to get one of those. Or at some point in time, if you are Shoshoni, do you decide to consider, instead of going for the point after, you go for 2? Because point after has been disastrous both times, not just one, but.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to go for 2 if you hit Peter. First down and 10. Carson Kissling to the right now comes in motion. And they'll set up the screen the other way. Blockers in front, grabbing him by the shirt tail was Schmidl. Schmidl will get Oaks down after about 7 yards on that little screen pass.
And Schmidl just didn't get overcommitted, was smart, realized what his role on the play was, and that was to kind of fill that middle of the field, put him in the right spot, because if he's not there, that probably goes for 15, 20 yards, if not more.
And it was 8 yards officially on the spot of the football. Ball right now, Wranglers 47-yard line. Oaks will split to the near side. In motion comes Filio. Low snap. And Mills under a heavy rush and escapes it, and he's off to the races. To the 40, 35, inside the 30, and down to the 29-yard line. So we'll see what the official, they're going to say the 30, so give him about 23 yards on that run. Again, he's making things happen when it looks like it's a disaster.
And helped out by what my line coach back when I was playing high school football would have taken me to the sidelines and yelled at me for, and that was great penetration at the start, but you didn't break down and start going. You just started running after the quarterback and allowed him to step up in the pocket.
Ball right now on the 30-yard line. That interior front doing a great job. Carson Kissling spun around by Baumberger, shy of the first down. However, about 7 yards on the run.
And Shoshoni getting back into that downhill running style. It's only been about 2 minutes with the football, but they've covered quite a bit of ground.
So coming out is Burkhofer. He'll be replaced by Colton Beimer. Second down and 3. Second back through, that would be Kissling. And he should have the first down. Ball on the 20. No indication now they do mark it. So 3 yards as Kissling starting to pile up the yardage himself. Of course, now with that 74-yard run for Morin, he's about 160-plus yards. Probably about 168 unofficially. First down and 10. Hash mark to the far side. Hard count, and guess what? Offside come the Hornets. Hornets have been penalized 4 times already today.
Going back to that running attack for Shoshoni, that's a big piece, for Pine Bluffs for this game. It's a big piece for them to replace. They lost a couple of big backs last year.
Yeah, Dalton Schaefer was one of them.
Got to fill that hole somehow, and good to see it filled in the first game.
Carson Kissling kind of felt his way through and actually was bottled up at the line of scrimmage. Somehow, some way, stumbled for a couple of yards up front. Second down and 3. And again, kind of a free play here for Tony Trumpler.
Back on that running play thing, it's the same similar story for both, I should say, as Shoshoni lost a running back who had 1,100-yard games last year.
Coach's son. And he was a horse.
Over 20 or 2,100 yards last year. So both teams definitely, again, I'm sure excited about who they're starting to see.
Movement on the interior line, they caught Edis, and that is the Wranglers' first penalty. Can you believe that? Procedure call on Edis. So it'll make it down 2nd and 7.
Can you take advantage if you're Pine Bluffs now? Got them into a 2nd and medium now.
And they'll give it off to the big back. That's the bruiser. Again, we're glad to see him back there. Casper with the carry. It looks like a short gain of about 3.
And I know this is something that running backs hate, but Pine Bluff's very good at going down and getting the legs.
Yeah.
And that's how you stop a running back. Receivers, sometimes you got to go up top more because you're trying to get the ball out of their hands, but running backs, the surefire way, trip them up and take their legs out from them.
Ball on the 14-yard line, 3rd down and 4. Back to pass, and firing, and it's picked off! Again, the Hornets with another INT. That is a huge pickoff by Karsten Freeberg, the sophomore. So Karsten Freeberg wraps things up on the drive by the Wranglers with an INT. Again, not the strength of this team. I mean, again, Mills hasn't thrown bad, but threw into a lot of coverage, and there was a lot of purple shirts there, and Freeberg comes away with it. 1st down and 10 for the Hornets. They're in their own backyard at the 14-yard line. Lorick will operate out of the gun, more into his left. High snap, good job by Lorick, and he's going to have to eat it. Boy, that snap was killer.
Yeah, that was just a tough play for him there. And going back to that interception, I think there was some spacing problems with the way that the routes are run for Shoshoni, because you mentioned a lot of Pine Bluffs helmets were sitting in there. Well, that was because there were 3 Shoshoni helmets all within about 5 yards of each other, and it's pretty easy to play defense when your receivers don't spread the field for you.
Lorick dropped at the 9, loss of 5. 2nd down and 15. Morin off to the left. He will carry the football, gets outside, cuts it back inside, then brought down. That is a saving tackle right there by Mills. As taking a look at the yardage covered on that one, you're looking at about 12 yards on that rush there by Morin. Morin right now is finding a stride.
He is absolutely doing just that, and I think it's starting to make a statement that, hey, I'm going to control this position for at least the rest of this year, and it's going to take some time to bump me out.
3rd down and 3 at the 21-yard line. Will Gray wants to set up the offensive play. We got about 65 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter. Pine leads 22-12 over the Shoshoni Wranglers. We're back after this 30-second timeout. You are listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings, line drive to center field. 15 steps up, another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam, the Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up, every passenger, every trip, every time.
Pine Bluffs, we are just about hop, skip, and a jump away from the Nebraska border here in southeast Wyoming. Larry Perotti, Caleb Burgraff. Back in Cheyenne, Wyoming is Landy Dacis pushing all the right buttons for us. Big 3rd down coming up for the Hornets right now to keep that clock rolling. And they'll swing it out, incomplete to Serrano. And again, kind of tentative on that throw was Lorick, 4th down.
I don't think you're necessarily crying too much if you're Pine Bluffs, though, about not doing something with the ball in this one. Yeah, sure, you wanted to. Yeah, you had it down to 3 yards that you had to get. But the biggest thing is you kept it a 2-score game, and now Shoshoni's got to work the ball down the field again.
Well, they should come away with good field position. Pace will drop back in deep punt formation. Nobody back for the Wranglers. Thinking something might be cooking.
I was thinking that.
So Pace drops back. Now Mills will sneak back. Snap is back. Pace gets it away, and nobody's back, and this should benefit the Hornets. How about that roll? That roll will take it all the way down to the 22-yard line. You want to talk about getting out of harm's way. He did it right there. So you're looking at 28, 29, 57 yards. Punt itself probably was about 20.
It definitely reverses the field there. And the biggest piece about that is now Shoshoni, a team that does not necessarily move the ball by big chunks unless it's a breakaway run.
Yeah.
You've only got 13 minutes to get 2 touchdowns against another team that can chew up the clock in Pine Bluffs.
Nice punt on the grass surface here. Again, this is natural turf. Love it. Walked out there earlier. It is cushiony. Back to pass. Goes Mills and fires one up. Boy, that one you were waiting for it to drop. I think gravity had to come into play. And Oaks makes the grab. That thing was up there a long time. Oaks will pick up 6 on that catch. It'll be second down and a long 4. But, I mean, that's one of those, if you're in the secondary, you should be able to come up on that thing. That hung up in the air for quite a while. Just a little breeze into the face of Oaks right now. Free down as they give it off to Carson Kissling. He'll have the first down. He stumbles for 5. And it will be first down and 10. Now, tick, tick, tick goes the Taco John scoreboard as they will move the chains. And matter of fact, they're going to allow the clock to run out. After 3 quarters, it's the Hornets leading 22-12. We're back after this 60-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football. Well, let's keep it here. Now they want to wind the clock. All right, now we'll take our 60-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
The players return.
With 6 crunchy beef tacos plus a pound of potato olays, our 6-pack and a pound is perfect for date night, movie night, 1,000-piece puzzle night, camping, tailgates, or any day that ends in Y.
Get $2 off the 6-pack and a pound, only from Taco John's.
Ten and a loss of 3 on a loss of 2 on a bad snap. Good job by the quarterback to cradle it, that being Braxton Mills. He'll be tagged with a 2-yard loss. And again, you can see those snaps are not crisp right now. Second down and long. This time, again, there's a big collision. And Burkhofer, along with Beimer, slam, landing Casper to the turf, and that will be a loss of 2.
And that offensive line gave no resistance from Shoshoni that time. That was just a bull blitz coming in from Pine Bluffs, and Shoshoni licking their wounds after that one. That was a big hit.
Well, Bo Fowler, who's centering for Shoshoni, having his difficulties right now, but he also has Burkhofer that is right over his helmet.
Not an easy task.
Third down and long, rolling to his right side under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Morin making the stop, and a little help back there from Beimer, and that is going to be a huge loss back to the, 19, maybe 18-yard line. Let's see, that would be about a 12-yard loss for Mills.
And how big is it when your best offensive weapon also is turning into one of your better defensive guys, too? Morin just all over the place.
Back deep to boot it away is Shoshoni. Nice high kick. Solis comes down with it at the 48-yard line into Wrangler territory, down to the 40, maybe the 39. Let's see where he got cut down. Looks like the 40 But a nice punt by Morgan Neal.
And I feel like you're in an interesting position here if you're Pine Bluffs, because 10:04 to go, you're up by 2 scores already, but you're at a short field. So you want to put that third score up, but you also want this drive to take its time at the same time. Like, difficult spot to be in. You'd almost rather you were on the 30-yard line and you had 70 yards of field to go and chew up that 10 minutes.
You want to give him a diet of Morin, and then when he gets a little tired, you bring in Solis.
And maybe toss a little bit of Schmidl just to confuse him.
Schmidl is flanked to the near side along with Carter and Morin with the football, and he's wrapped up right away. That's a good stop in the backfield. Breaking through was Landon Casper, and he drops Morin for a 2-yard loss.
That's the other tough part about a short field when you're trying to chew up clock is the other team knows exactly what you're going to do. It's just, can you choose the right hole and counter their blitz, counter whatever they bring the right way.
Taco John scoreboard with 9:40 to go in the game. Plays coming in. Travis Lorick will split to the near side. Everybody in tight. Burkhofer will move over, flank to the near side. Schmidl also comes to the near side as well. Second down and long, back to pass goes Lorick. Lorick steps away from the pressure, fires coming across, making a grab, and that should be a first down. Nice grab by Travis Lorick, and that will be more than enough for the first down.
And he had just a slight step on Oakley Hicks coming across there and enough space for a dart of a pass. What a good job to convert and move those chains.
First and 10 also keeps the clock ticking once they set the chains in place. Hash mark to the far side. Lorick with Morin to his right. Option to Morin. Morin with the football. Gets away from one tackler, still on his feet, and then it's going to be flagged. I think it might be on Serrano on a hold.
I believe you're right, and I think the only reason the flag came out was because the play got extended, and you're never going to tell somebody they did a bad job extending the play and fighting for more yards, but I think that's what happened is as soon as the play got extended, the player that was being held down by Serrano tried to get back up and into the play, and Serrano just couldn't get off him.
So you're going to give a 7-yard run to Morin because it is a spot foul. And they spot the foul at the 23, so they'll mark it back to the 33. And again, another major against the Hornets. So give Morin at least 7 yards on the run.
The intricacies of high school football and where the holding penalty comes from.
Actually give Morin 6, and it will be first down all over again. Back to pass goes Lorick. Lorick over the middle and overshoots Travis Lorick. Almost coming away with the INT back there was Mills.
Yeah, Travis Lorick getting his fingertips on that one was all that kept Mills from, I think, getting the interception because both of them got pieces of it with their fingers, but ended up bouncing away from Mills after the deflection.
Good strong throw, though, by Justin Lorick.
Very good throw.
I have the goalpost as blocking that 1 second hand there. 8 minutes and
33.
8:33 to go in the game. Clock is stopped. Hand off to Solis. Solis gets outside. Still on his feet. He's got some blockers in front of him. Breaks a tackle. Still going. Breaks another tackle as he gets inside the 10. Let's see where they spot him at. This is like near the goal line down to the 2. How about 32 yards on that run?
And a great job by Schmilling on the outside. He wasn't necessarily the lead blocker for him, but he closed off the edge and kept the safety and cornerbacks from that side from getting back into the middle of the field, which let the cut in by Serrano open him up to get him just outside of the end zone.
This could put the nail in the coffin for the Wranglers if the Hornets could put it in. Handoff to Solis, goes off tackle in, touchdown! Jesus Solis, and 6. That will run the score now to 28-12. This is an important PAT.
A 17-point game would be much different. 16 two-possession game. You get your 2 two-point conversions, 17 to keep that 3-possession lead.
That's what I'm saying. This could be one where you could put the nail in the coffin and start hammering. Low snap. Serrano's kick. It splits the uprights. Good. 29-12 in favor of the Hornets. We'll be back after a 30-second timeout. You are listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
Couldn't do it without them. FMBO, brand new to our broadcast. Key of Cheyenne, Merritt Plumbing Heating, Wyoming Department of Transportation, First Tier Bank, Burns Insurance Company, Fat Boys Tire and Auto. We also want to thank the Go Window Company, Holiday Motors, MHP, LLP, Lennox Auto Body, Cheyenne Regional Medical Center, Platte Valley Bank, 2 doors down, Cheyenne Auto Repair and Service, Page Lane at number 1 Properties, Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union, Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Del Range, and to our scoreboard sponsor, Taco John's. Right now, they're smiling. 29-12. That sounds like some good dinner when we get back into town.
Now, do you think we get a pooch kick again, or do you think they finally get one deep?
I don't know.
It's been what, 4 straight pooches?
Well, Filio has moved up now to around the 10-yard line. He's daring him to kick it over his head. And guess what? He backs up Filio inside the 10, still on his feet to the 20, lowers his head, and he is dropped by Schmidl. How about Schmidl just lowers his head and just goes right after the knees?
You got that big 3-point lead now, or 3-possession lead now, so you don't have to necessarily hold back and play the safe route anymore. Now you just pin your ears back and go.
Ball on the 28-yard line, so a lot of real estate to cover for this offense. Again, it's the 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and, yeah, once in a while you break them. They will run with that inverted bone out of the gun, and Mills will call his own number, push the pack forward. And again, that's going to blow about 45 seconds off the clock as he picks up 3 yards on the play.
Well, and you think about where the big success for Shoshoni came. It was in that second quarter when they started really pounding the ball inside and wearing out Pine Bluffs. So maybe the coaching staff on the far side looking to end this game on a positive note and get a long drive in and treat this like a first-half possession versus second-half possession.
And it's not a conference game.
No.
So, it's non-conference, but, again, kind of sets the tone a little bit for your seasons. Offset eye, they'll pitch it back to Carson Kissling. Kissling feels his way through and dropped. Maybe for no gain. Now, are they going to give him a yard or 2?
I believe they gave him 2.
2, yeah. Didn't look like he had much there. He was kind of putting his hand out, trying to feel his way through the traffic. It's going to be 3rd down and long.
Just tried to get out to the corner on that one. I think right now, if you're Shoshoni, this is, again, as far as confidence boosts go, this is one of those that sets up the next week of practice for this team.
3rd down and 5. Coming to the near side will be Clark. He's one to watch out for along with Filio. Filio now will retreat back. He's flanked to the near side. And back to pass. Under a heavy rush comes Schmidl, throws him down for a loss. Sean Schmidl came out of the howitzer, and I mean, boom! He blasted through and drops Mills for a huge loss.
Schmidl up the middle. What a blast out of the, you mentioned it, the can. There's no other way to say it but a cannon. That was in the backfield before Mills could blink.
That is a 10-yard loss, and you got to boot it away. Quentin Clark on to boot it away. Back deep will be Karsten Freeberg. This one low and on the turf. Freeberg picks it up at the 42 to the 45 and dumped at the 48-yard line, where it'll be 1st down and 10. So for Pine Bluffs, a couple of 1st downs, and I'd say probably about 3 1st downs, and this game's going to be toast.
Yeah, because Shoshoni's not going to try and extend the game at this point in time anymore with the way that they played that last possession. They're at this point in time saying, let's take what we got and and try and do what we can. But on the same side, now it's time to stretch out apparently on the far side. Looks like we got a cramp.
Oh, that's Serrano. Well, they give us a media timeout here, or it looks like it's a timeout called by Shoshoni. We'll keep it here. A reminder, next Friday, on the road again. We will eventually be home.
Are you sure
at
about
Oakey
that?
Blanchard. I'm going to be at Oakey Blanchard Sports Complex tomorrow, but I'm going to be in civilian clothes.
A fan?
Yeah, I'm going to hopefully get the chance to cruise on the sidelines. But we will be in Torrington. Travis Ramses, Burns Bronx, and the Trailblazers. That one, that's always a tough place to play in Torrington.
Always.
So we'll be up there as R.J. Fox and I will make that Sturgis run up 85. Or for me, it's the Rapid City run up 85. You always got to stop in Torrington. You got to stop in Torrington, and then you can make it the rest of the way to Rapid or Sturgis. And we will be there. I do believe our Week 3 contest finds us over in Laramie. I'll have to look at my stats. I do believe it's Cheyenne Central, as we'll get a chance to catch up with Coach Mike Apodaca's Central Indians. As again, we try to cover everybody. We'll have South on our schedule as well, too, this season. There's a lot of football to go still. Bad snap. Lurk almost wanted to eat it and then fires a pass incomplete. I actually thought Lurk was going to take off with it, and Schmidl kind of stopped his pattern. He just kind of beat feet, hit the ground, stopped, and was waiting for Lurk to run with it, so it'll be incomplete. Lurk's put up the football 24 times this afternoon/evening. So it'll be second down and 10. Again, I'll try to get to my notes here. I got them all over the place.
Typical broadcast booth.
Yeah. I never leave home without them. Well, I leave home without equipment. High snap again. Lurk pulls it down to Morin. Morin cuts back against the grain. Still on his feet. Cuts it back again. He'll have first down yardage and some more for Morin.
He's just getting stronger as the game's going on. And you look at him, you don't expect some of these runs out of a player that size. He's one of the smallest guys on the field, but his heart definitely is not the same size as his body. He's running like he's the Grinch that had his heart grow 3 times. He's trying to carry his team with him.
I got to tell you, I think Morin is approaching that 200-yard mark. He's close.
Right. He's got to be right on the edge of it.
Now in the backfield will be Ty Scarborough, the sophomore. He will line up the right of Lurk. He will have the football. He'll go off tackle left side, still on his feet. Breaks through the tackles and will drive forward. Looks like he's going to be inside the 20. Looks like he stepped out around the 18-yard line. If he did so, that's a 16-yard run for Scarborough.
And right now, Pine Bluff's looking for another 30-point game that they've put up against Shoshoni. The last 2 games last season they put up 30, 34, and 33. And 1 possession game wins. This year looking to try and get up to 35 and maybe 36 with a point after.
Freeburg will split to the near side. Out on top is Lurk. That's Travis Lurk. First down and 10, ball right now on the 18-yard line. Hand off to Scarborough. Feels his way through. Still on his feet. And he'll be in. Did he dive for the end zone? Did they give it to him? It's going to be a touchdown. How about that for Travis Scarborough? 18 yards and the touchdown. Ty Scarborough, that is. And again, the last 34 yards on his own. So for the Pine Bluffs Hornets, it's a 35-12 romp, especially here in the second half.
And another sophomore for the Pine Bluffs Hornets.
Snap is back. Serrano's kick through the uprights and good. So on the Taco John scoreboard, we have 4:53 left to go. It's 36-12 in favor of the Hornets. We're back after this 30-second timeout. You're listening to and watching high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Suddenly it's all
over 50 years, and we offer your family the best selection and service in the region with expert advice and quality work done right the first time. Get price quotes and schedule service at fatboystires.com.
before you go flash, you better go fast. Fat Boy.
of Howard Cosell, along with Frank Gifford and the Dandy one, Dandy Don Meredith. I know you're a little young, but right now, Dandy would be standing up here going, "Turn out the lights, the party's over." Oh, they had some fun on Monday Night Football.
And love some of the old Howard Cosell calls.
So it will be Burkhofer to boot it away this time. Back deep is Filio. Filio around his 5-yard line. This one will be a short kick, and it's picked up by Oaks at the 35 to the 40. Still on his feet, and will stumble forward to the 43. I'll check that to the 33. And it will be first down and 10.
Schmidl on another tackle. You got two guys on this team that really light things up on both the offensive and defensive side. Schmidl, we just talked about, but also Morin. I mean, those two guys just keep on coming at you, and it doesn't matter what side of the ball they're on, and coaches love those guys.
Well, Schmidl knows how to put that crown right at the knees, cut you down. First down and 10, and they'll hand it off to the second back through as they run the offset I. That being Carson Kissling. Kissling will pick up 5, and it'll be second down and 5. And right now, I think Coach Tony Trumpler is just going to be working on that ground attack.
I think you're right. At this point in time, you're just trying to get better for next week if you're Shoshoni. And even Pine Bluffs, you're still trying to get better for next week with this one from them.
Quentin Clark will split to the near side. Hard count and a busted play.
Everyone was going somewhere else.
Let's see. It will be a procedure call against the Wranglers.
I think that was from in the backfield, no less.
So looking at next week's schedule, Hornets will be home. They got the Vikings, the Guernsey Sunrise Vikings. And let's see, I'm looking here for... Thought I had Shoshoni. Well, Larry blew that one. I got every schedule but theirs. Big hole straight ahead. Once again, that is Filio with the football. Filio will get back the penalty yardage, 5 yards.
One thing I can tell you, Pine Bluffs extending their winning streak against Shoshoni to 4 games now with this one. They lead the all-time series with the win here 7-3 going back to 2003.
Well, tell me where Shoshoni's playing at next week, Mr. I know everything.
I was just going over last year's stats. I couldn't find anything on this year.
Offset I and a third down call. Back to pass, rolling to his right. Mills throws up another wounded duck. However, it's caught, and nice job to scale the bench, and then hop over it was the receiver on the play for the Wranglers, Clark. That'll be more than enough for the first down. As that ball now is at the 49-yard line, just shy of midfield. 11 yards on that pass play. Clark, I do believe, has his 3rd catch of the night. I got him down for 2, but I think he's got 3.
And by the way, Shoshoni will be at Grable next week.
Got the Buffaloes, huh?
Good contest coming up there.
First down and 10, handoff again, and dropped immediately at the line of scrimmage. So Kissling was dumped down by Jaden Peckery, the freshman. So getting some playing time. Second down and 10. Tick, tick, tick goes the Taco John scoreboard with 2:45 to go. Second down and 10. This time again to Kissling, that is, as Carson is wrapped up, dropped. See who made the initial hit.
And I think right now, Shoshoni, one of the other things the coaches have got to be looking for over there is who's going to be your fire starter. Yeah. Who's the guy that's going to try and motivate them when things are tough, and that's something that coaches are watching. And I think even on the Pine Bluff side, it's not necessarily for who's trying to pick the team up. It's who's still playing and taking it seriously right now. Those are notes that they take mentally for when the playoffs roll around, and it's a critical situation.
Cameron Jessen on that stop. He busted through. third down and long. Mills talking things over with his fullback, Casper. And I think we're going to get a timeout call by Coach Trumpler. As we look, we're at under 2 minutes to play. $1:50 to go, 36-12 in favor of the Hornets. Back after a 30-second timeout. You are listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
Fat Boys Tire and Auto.
When you need tires or
Each of us
auto,
comes with a different story, a different way of looking at the world. So whatever it is that makes you different will make all the difference. I'm General C.Q. Brown Jr. Come join us.
Back to Pine Bluffs High School. Hornets has this thing well in hand. Third down, and we're looking at about 12 for Shoshoni. Clock right now with, let me get the abacus out, about 110 seconds to go. Fakes the handoff, Mills does, flips it back, it's on the turf, ball is loose. And Schmidl will fall on it. I'm thinking there was a little rush there between Schmidl and Wyatt Carter. Who was going to pick it up and romp it home?
They ended up costing both of them the scoop and score. That was a great job, though, coming from the Pine Bluffs defense of being able to seal and isolate that running back on the near sideline. And there was nobody for Shoshoni that was there to try and scoop that ball up.
Second fumble by the Wranglers. And we'll see, no, not a change at quarterback. Coming in late to the huddle was Cameron Jessen. Right now you're almost into that fall on ball on one, but you'll hand it off instead. That is Scarborough. As he will maybe. That's Colby Lorick. So Colby Lorick will lose 2. Now my scorecard looks like in baseball now when you got 18 pinch hitters coming up.
Going down to our final 2 snaps of this one.
Colby Lorick is a freshman. He's 5'10", 135 pounds. Justin Lorick has gone all the way, taking his time, and play clock. Nope, it wasn't a play clock. It was a procedure call. So the 6th whistle against the Hornets. Will Gray takes his hat off. That's one thing I'm sure he'll be jotting down in the notes that, guys, we can't have that many penalties. Tick, tick, tick as the clock rewinds again. And again, Justin Lorick taking as much time as he can. Hands it off to Colby. Colby bobbles the snap, and he will lose about 6 yards.
Well, depending on when they decide to start the 40-second count, they might not have to snap it again. The player was taken down almost right at the 40-second mark.
I think it's 30.
Is it 30 now in high school?
So they're high-fiving everybody in the huddle right now. Hornets have yet to break the huddle. We've got 10 seconds to go.
Doesn't look like they're going to. It looks
like the official's going to pick up the football. And we have another win for the Hornets. Final score here in Pine Bluffs. The Hornets dominating, especially in the second half. Again, they went to the locker room. They were leading 15-12. Put up 3 scores in the second half. Also, they got a fumble recovery. They also got an interception, and they got some very strong running from Ryan Warren as the Hornets win going away 36-12 over the Shoshoni Wranglers. We'll get ready to wrap things up here after we take a 2-minute timeout. A 2-minute timeout. You are listening to high school football on 1480 K-Ray.
We're all about about value for the money here at Kia of Cheyenne. I'm AJ Miller, and the new 2023 Kia Soul gives you great looks, fuel efficiency, and ample passenger and cargo space. Get inside the new 2023 Kia Soul and see the sporty design with available 10-inch touchscreen, premium sound, and tech features like Smart Key Remote Start and climate control. Come in and check out the new Kia Soul at Kia of Cheyenne. Call 775-0123 or go to KiaofCheyenne.com and we'll make it easy.
Suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows. Your home deserves the very best, that's what we give to you. When it comes to vinyl windows, no need to be confused. We manufacture in Wyoming, build them all right here. 'Cause we know the climate, suddenly it's all so clear with Gill Windows.
The players return to the field. Up to bat are the Warriors. First up, number 7. There's the pitch. It's a hit, good for a single. Next, number 18. He swings, line drive to center field. 15 steps up, another hit. Bases loaded now as number 40 approaches the plate. It's headed for the fence. Grand slam, the Warriors win the game. Make it home safe. Buckle up, every passenger.
An excited Pine Bluffs Hornets team off the field where they win 36-12. And again, let's tip our cap to the play of the Hornets, especially in the second half, Caleb, where again they outscore the Wranglers 21-0. Scoring in the third quarter, how about Morin with a 74-yard run midway through the third period, about 5:55 to go. Serrano PAT. That was one thing too. Give Serrano his due. He was perfect on all his kicks. The only one that supposedly he missed was a bad snap, and they converted that into a 2-point conversion. So he was 5 of 5 on the conversion side. In the fourth quarter, with about 8:05 to go, Jesus Solis, who came in and ran the football very well. Plus, he had a touchdown call back on a kickoff return. But for Solis, he had a 2-yard run after he set it up with a 32-yard run. And we'll grab his numbers here in just a little bit. Serrano's PAT made it 29-12 and then closing out the scoring. How about Scarborough? Ty Scarborough came in off the bench. 2 rushes, 34 yards, 18 yards on the last one for the touchdown. And the Serrano PAT made it 36-12. So if you're looking at averages, I'm looking at Scarborough right now, 2 attempts for 34 yards. That's a 17. We'll see if he can maintain that throughout the course of the season. Solis carried the ball in short duty today. He had 2 rushes in the first half for 13 yards. How about in the second half? 3 rushes for a total of 46 yards. How about 59 yards? Again, unofficially through 5 rushes tonight. The big guy was Ryan Morin. Morin, 18 rushes, 204 yards, again, unofficially. Unofficially, 204 yards rushing for Ryan Morin. Passing game needs some work. And again, it's not Stu Lorick anymore. It is Justin Lorick back there. And Justin got baptized.
Yep, he'll get there.
9 of 24 throwing the football tonight. Catching the football, Serrano had 1. Schmidl had a couple of catches. Travis Lorick had a couple of catches, 3 for Pace and 1 for Carter. So again, you look at the overall balance by the Hornets tonight or this afternoon, evening, wherever you want to call it. All I know is the sun's going to be in our eyes going home. But again, strong running and that opens up the passing game. And I think in Justin Lorik's case, just a little more confidence at that QB spot, and I think he'll start connecting again. Don't take any stock in a 9 of 24 afternoon here, because again, credit to those Wranglers. They were very active along the front line.
Well, and I think one of the other things for Justin is he was making right decisions. It wasn't like he was just barely seeing passes dropped by opposing players. It was just the accuracy of finding and getting into that rhythm with his new receivers. So I think when you said baptism of fire, that was the perfect way to really kind of describe what he went through today is, okay, now I know what game speed's like versus practice speed.
Carson Kissling on the other side for Shoshoni. Again, all unofficial numbers on my behalf. 21 rushes today. I have him down here for 83 yards. So, again, a good day for him. As a matter of fact, the early injury to Landon Casper kind of rushed him in. Casper eventually came back onto the field, but they kept Kissling. And I got to think that Carson Kissling won him a tailback position spot.
I believe you are absolutely correct.
Because, again, you look at the starting lineup, and in the backfield, it was Caden Kissling along with Landon Casper and also Wiley Filio. So, again, I think Carson Kissling won himself a starting spot. And, again, Coach Tony Trumpler talking to his troops. They got a lot to build on, and hopefully they can get things sorted out. Pine Bluffs Hornets, well, get another home date. And it's nice to sleep in your own bed. You'll have the Guernsey Sunrise Vikings coming into town. And, again, that will be a Friday Night Lights encounter here in Pine Bluffs. R.J. Fox rejoins me next Friday evening. We're in Torrington. Trailblazers playing host to the Burns Bronx, Class 2A action for the East. And we'll have that for you. I do believe that is a 7 o'clock kickoff up in Torrington, so we'll be on the air sometime around 6:30. Caleb, any closing thoughts before we go?
Really just impressed by the way Pine Bluffs kept coming at him. I mean, this is a team that the thing that separates the teams that are good and talented from the teams that win championships is usually, do you still want to do well when you're already winning? And I think this is a Pine Bluffs team that maybe not the whole team yet, but there's definitely people like Schmilling. You talk about...
You mean Sean Schmidl?
Schmidl, yeah, there we go, Schmidl. You talk about Morin. There's guys on this team that know and don't want to stop it just good enough, and that's exciting for a coach when you see that coming out of the gate. And don't count out Shoshoni. I think that's a team on the other side that they have weapons as well, and when they get things working, I think you have two teams that when they get to the postseason this year, and I think both will be in the postseason, I think you have two teams that are going to be able to make noise once again.
Well, you look at a kid like Ryan Morin real quick who, got to be the understudy last year. He got to watch Dalton Schaefer, garner all those yards. Justin Lorik again, and again, I would hope that it's his team. It's not Stu Lorik's team anymore. So Justin needs to, escape out of those shoes. And again, it's your football squad. Run that offense the way you can. As you mentioned, Schmidl was part of that championship team last year. Merrifield was also part of that championship team on the offensive line. They got a lot of positives, a lot of things to build on. And again, too, I know the Southeast Goshen Cyclones are one of the top teams in this Class 1A 9-man East. When those two collide, it's going to be rough this year. And so again, Southeast has really built back up the program. So again, it could be headed for a showdown between Pine and Southeast later on this season. Again, thank you to our fine sponsors, Chick-fil-A at Windmill and Delrange, Meridian Trust Federal Credit Union, Page Lane at Number One Properties, Shine Auto Repair and Service, 2 doors down, Platte Valley Bank, Shine Regional Medical Center, Lennox Auto Body and the Auto Glass and Detail Center, MHP, LLP, Holiday Motors, Gill Window Company, Fat Boys Tire and Auto, Burns Insurance Company, First Tier Bank, with 2 locations in Cheyenne, Wyoming Department of Transportation, Merritt Plumbing and Heating, Taco John's, our scoreboard sponsor, Key of Cheyenne, and FMBO. Again, Taco John's a scoreboard sponsor, showing a 36-12 win in favor of the Hornets as they down the Shoshoni Wranglers. So that's going to wrap things up here from Pine Bluffs. Thank you again back at the house to Lanny Dasis. Thank you to Caleb Burgraff, who made the trek over with me. And again, hopefully we'll have Caleb with us in some form or another, whether it's football or basketball, throughout the course of the year. We know we got him for baseball. We got him inked forever on a contract for baseball.
As long as Ty lets me keep hanging around, that's the question.
Folks, Larry's been doing this a long time, and Larry's getting a little too old. Game's getting too fast for him. So anyway, got to wrap things up here again with the Hornets winning big time here, 36-12 over the Shoshoni Wranglers. So for Caleb and Lanny, I'm Larry Perlotti saying good night. We now return to regular programming on 1480 K-Ray.